All right, hello and welcome to the Arcade Hangout episode number 124. I am Orange Whip, one of your hosts for tonight's show. We're a bunch of arcade collectors who like to meet once a week to chat about our hobby of collecting arcade games, generally classic arcade games. We have a question tonight, which actually I was not here for the birth of this question, but I think it's a fucking awesome question. And I have not listened to, I have listened to partial parts of the last two episodes that I missed while I was away on my Disneyland trip, but I have not listened to them fully yet to figure out where this question came about. So the question is,
talking about it.
Yeah, there you go. When you were a kid, I guess, or an adult, did you ever save box tops or labels or whatever and send them away? You know, you got to send 30 away plus $1.50 postage handling to get X. So did you ever do that as a kid? If so, what was it? And if you didn't, what was it that you would have done or wanted to get? Even if it is, I think as Mock said earlier today, the X-ray specs from the backs of comic books.
Did you like that picture?
Awesome.
That brought me back to my childhood, that picture.
They probably use the same picture today.
Probably do. And those things were fucking lies.
But there was a money back guarantee. It couldn't have been a lie. Did you see that? Money back guarantee. And even the
Really
name of it
works.
was
Yeah, but you have to pay for postage.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And handling. And shipping,
Yeah, that's right. It's the handling that'll get to you.
Restocking fee.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
I want to have it handled a lot less.
Oh, Slicknick has one too that we could do another
yeah.
Columbia House tapes or CDs.
Oh.
You never finished paying for them and then just going to drop out of it?
Yeah.
That was the biggest scam in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Remember, they would just send you shit automatically.
Yeah, you had to return
You
it.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't pick, but you weren't ready to pick yet. Even though they say, "Oh, we'll give you a whole year to pick anything," but if you don't pick anything, we're gonna send you shit.
Yep.
I think I got the third Ace of Base album because I didn't send it back in time. It's like a scourge of my CD collection. Like,
Wait, so they tried to send the same CD 3 times? Or was it 3 different albums?
No, I
Like,
remember
he keeps sending it back. Bring it back to him.
so it was like a pyramid.
Why do you have Hanson in your collection?
And there was like a thing too, like a pyramid scheme part of it too, where like if you signed someone else up, like you would get bonus CDs.
yeah, you got 4
Yeah,
free as
right.
long as your friends
So
got 12.
I remember
yeah.
like so that the girl I was dating when I lived out in California in the early 90s, she was like, "Oh, totally, I'm like a Columbia member, and like I totally do this thing, and I get free CDs all the time, and it's great, and it's like, you know, how many for a penny and all that shit."
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, "All right, I have to sign you up, and then we can do this." And I was like, "All right, you can sign me up, but I am not going to be responsible for sending anything back or paying for shit I don't want." She was like, "Done," and she signed me up, and then she got like 10 free CDs.
Man.
Worked out fine, and then she's like, "No, this is how you do it. This is how you play the game." And then she had it all figured out. I was like, "All right, that's great, but I'm not paying for shit I don't want."
Yeah.
Copy to Hanson's a great example.
Bop. Bop, 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 bop.
I'm sorry to say I don't have a song.
One more time.
Yeah.
Not a bad
I think
thing,
we're all
dude.
relieved.
I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt myself.
Who was the Australian one? It was like Silverchair, yeah.
Yeah.
Played the shit out of that on the radio.
They were good, man. They were really good.
I still listen to Silverchair.
Yeah,
I love
it's great.
Silverchair.
Yeah. Daniel Johns is actually doing an interview on TV Sunday night here. First interview in 15 years or something. So it's all advertised. So yeah, that all the shit he went through. So it should be good to watch. But, crickets.
Okay, so anybody want to start off tonight's question? Anybody have an answer, Mock? Since you kind of
I do actually. I can start, I guess.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. All right. On my it was my 9th birthday or 8th birthday, somewhere on there. No, it wasn't quite 10. It wasn't quite 10. It was somewhere between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Empire has not come out yet, and my parents for my birthday bought me a shit ton of. They found them like on sale or something, and they bought me a whole bunch of Star Wars figures. I mean, a shit ton of them. And I was an only child. I was spoiled, got stuff like that.
Still are.
But that was the time where they had.
Yay, only children. Oh.
Yay!
Yay, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, we have a lot
All
of
about
only
you.
children.
Yeah. I was just say, like, I've dated only children. My suggestion is don't date only children. But
Thanks a lot, Andrew.
We're selfish.
That's right.
I'm very sorry. That's always.
That's next week's question.
Andrew,
never-
you're all right on that advice.
No, sorry.
Could have
my
used that advice
shit.
about
No,
2 years ago.
Okay, so anyway, they had on the back of some of the Star Wars figures, they had that special deal where you could send away for the Boba Fett figure that was not in stores, and it was only seen in the holiday special, and that had already come out. So I knew who Boba Fett was just from that. So I'm like, he was the coolest thing in the cartoon.
You saw the
What's
Star
that?
Wars special when it aired in
Aired live or whatever when it aired for the first time.
And he
Yes,
loved
I
it.
did.
Yep.
No, I love the cartoon parts.
It's pretty horrible.
It's horrible even
so
as a
good.
child. It's
You'd have to hand in
scarring.
a Star Wars card if he said it like that. Yeah. Here.
But the animated sequences were the best part. I mean, I was 8 years old. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll watch this. This part's cool. I want more of that, And there's like 2 sequences of animation in that special for that. Anyway, Boba Fett's in that, and on the back of the box, I recognized it. I'm like, oh, cool. So I was able to send away for 2 Boba Fett figures, and even showed the launcher on the back that the launcher was supposed to, launch out that little pellet. So I sent away for that, and nothing for God. It's like 6 to 8 weeks, which is like a lifetime to
Yeah,
a
it
kid.
is.
Totally.
And I think that's gonna be a running theme throughout all these things.
Right.
Always 6 to 8,
Yeah.
and that's a fucking eternity.
And
Not a
I
piece.
ran to the mailbox every day after school. Nothing. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks or so, my parents wanted to go on a trip to visit my dad's relatives in Texas. So we were going to be gone for like 2 weeks. I'm like, no, I can't even check the mailbox. Someone's going to steal my Boba Fett. My Boba Fett, plural. And so my mom had a friend that was going to check the mailbox and bring it in, daily and put it on the couch. So all the way, the whole trip in Texas, I'm like thinking about Boba Fett, like, oh, I hope my Boba Fett's there when I get back. Oh, I hope my Boba Fett's there when I get back. It's like, that's all I could think about, right? So then we finally fly home from Texas, which was a horrible trip. Sorry, if people live in Texas. I just don't like it. But anyway, we get back. Too hot. Too hot, too flat, too boring. Okay, so I get back and I run in the house looking for the mail pile wherever my mom's friend was putting the mail, and I find the mail pile. I'm like, doing one of these. Where's the Boba Fett? Where's the Boba Fett? And I can't find it. I'm like starting to freak, and I look. I'm looking up. There's tons of mail. It's 2 weeks of mail, and then I see this little itty bitty. They mailed it. And I swear to God, a box this big, just barely enough to hold the figure in a cardboard box, and they're loose.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them.
Came in a little bag. Yeah.
He came in a little teeny baggie inside the box, but I mean, it was just a little. I think it was a little white box, maybe. I mean, it could have got crushed or whatever, but it was
Were
okay.
you expecting like the full on, like the card? Like
I was looking for the card.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be
yeah.
a bigger box. I had a card backing, and no, they were cheap. They just bought them out the factory and threw them in a box and shipped them off to the 12 people that sent away for it.
Right.
I think you had to have like 8 proof of purchase or something. So I had like, I guess 16 of them then. So that was pretty sweet. But so I had 2 Boba Fetts, and that was pretty awesome. And they're both painted slightly different, which is kind of interesting.
And neither one of them shot their rocket.
None, and they melted. They took it looked like a soldering tip and just went bzz inside to wreck all the gears and plastics to be able to launch the rocket.
Wasn't that talked about in the
yes,
that toy.
Yeah, and some people had the one that really fired in that.
It's
The
worth
prototypes.
a lot of money now too.
Yeah. The toys that made us.
The toys that made us. Grew up with, or toys that were built. Toys.
That's great.
Yeah, and there's a new season coming out soon that's covering like Star Trek toys. What was the other one? Shit.
I
can't remember.
Those. I know that those.
Yeah, there's a trailer for the new season and Star Trek and what else? Fuck, I can't remember right now. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. But anyway, Boba Fett. So the reason why Boba Fett didn't shoot its rocket is because
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica toys, the ships that pop open. I had a friend that had
Cylons,
and they shot really far. Actually,
they did.
Those little
They were
things.
really terrible.
They're pretty powerful. So a little kid shot it inside his mouth just for fun, and he choked and died.
So wait, did he actually die?
He died. Yeah, that's what the news report said. Because it was all over the news when it happened. They said, and then parents took their kid Battlestar Galactica toys away from him.
So my brother and I totally had like the Viper,
Viper,
and the Cylon Raider. So we had like the
they're cool. They're detailed too.
Cool. Yeah, my brother had the Viper, and I had the Cylon. It's like and the Cylon.
Remember the Cylon's wings would pop out?
Yeah, that's where the shots came from. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like the Cylon was actually a little bit cooler because the Viper only had the one in the front, but the Cylon had one on each side. It had 2 shots.
Yeah, I got to dig up my old Star Wars toys. I can still picture the white box generic box that my parents put them in.
I still have my Boba Fett. I lost. Someone stole one, but I have one. I still have it.
R2d2 and C3PO are the ones I remember the most. R2d2 had a little plastic antenna that you could pull up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's chair.
Oh, that's cool.
I had the ET toy too, where the little ship, and if you push the button, he'd pop out. He'd shoot out. ET would.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never seen
an eject system.
Yeah, he pretty much.
Eject.
Anything that you could shoot out, like you could have had a spring to it, you try to go for optimal distance. It's like you're launching ET out of his ship. Yeah, he went 4 feet. Yeah.
I had a Battlestar Galactica launcher that launched foam-shaped versions of the Vipers. You could put 2 in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was this long cannon gun, and you'd shoot them, and they'd shoot really far because they were like these really light. They look like a styrofoam paper airplane, basically, but they look like the Vipers. But yeah, those things were shot by rubber band. They just shot, clear across the room.
Any of you guys in California been to Frankensons collectibles?
No, haven't even heard of it.
It's only open Wednesdays and Saturdays. I went down there when I was there a week ago. It's a massive warehouse building, and all it is just like collectible shit. And it was funny because I found I was looking at the Battlestar Galactica ships and stuff at one of the guys' booths there last week. I was like, holy shit! I totally remember these as a kid.
Oh, it's like a flea market, or
it's individual. It's here. It's individual guys, but it's fucking massive.
That sounds awesome.
Like a flea market, yeah. The flea market of nerd.
It's not really a flea market per se, but it kind of is.
If you set up your own booth and sell your own shit, kind of thing.
But they're all permanent.
Oh. So it's like the dirt mall from Mallrats.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like. It's not permanent though.
Right.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, it was.
It looks like a Comic-Con.
It literally take you an entire day to go through it. It was insane.
Cool.
Fucking
okay, the toys that made a season 2 is going to feature Star Trek stuff, Lego, and Transformers. I guess they didn't do Transformers yet.
Transformers, yeah. I mean, I was shocked they didn't do that in the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, me too. It was a really good series, though.
Yeah, that series was great. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I was. Well, they say every time they show an old toy.
Yeah, they say in the opening credits, it's like an 8-part mini series or something like that in the song, and it's like, put out 4 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's the other 4?
You're right.
Huh. Legos will be good. I'm waiting for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That'll probably be like season 4.
Now they need to do a version of that's like classic arcade games.
The games that made us.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the He-Man one. That was kind of cool. They talked about how they were just coming up with anything they could think of, like the Stinker one, or the Ram Man, or Multi Faces, or.
Right. I just came across my He-Man lunchbox when I was at my parents last time.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, that's
Voltron.
awesome.
Oh, man, I didn't
Yeah,
have any of
Voltron's
Lunchbox,
cool.
and I had a He-Man record holder for the little records.
That's cool as hell.
Case
45.
I was too old to
45.
play with He-Man, but I babysat somebody that had all the He-Man figures, so I'd play with them.
I'm never too old.
Is that fucking weird?
Yeah.
Is that fucking weird? I'm born in '83, and I have a shit ton of records from a
Right.
child. Still have the Fisher Price record player. Me and my sister would play DJ with.
I think you were
Radio
at
show is
that
what we called
where your dad was, or your parents were still young enough to be interested in that, and you
Yeah.
were a little too young, but they got you involved in it, kind of thing.
I'm an anomaly, is what I am.
That's what I do with my kids. My kids play with a lot of old toys because of it.
Right.
There's a
I
really
was
good
playing
YouTube channel,
Atari
too,
when
that
everyone
does
in the neighborhood had a Nintendo. I was always behind. Yeah.
There's a really good YouTube channel that goes over each toy individually for one episode. I can't remember what it's called though. Let's see if I can find it later and bring it up.
Somebody
They've
posted something funny on.
They've done like He-Man and all or different ones as well.
On one of my Twitter feeds, somebody posted funny about what was the Constructicons in Transformers? Didn't they combine and make Devastator? Was that the right guy? Okay, so they said when the Constructicons disassemble, what happens to the Devastator's consciousness? Like, does he go, whoop? Does he just get turned off like a switch?
It was the head guy. It was the
goals
wrecking crane, right? It was.
Well, no, but he's like a
That's something you
combine
think
of
about when
all,
you're
of all
stoned.
6 of those guys.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying though, like, was it a different robot consciousness at that point, or is it all the robots together? Then who gets to decide to do what? Like, no, I want to walk over here. No, I want to walk over here.
It was like that Steve Martin movie, The Man with Two Brains. Or
That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
That's a great
I love that story.
What are you shaving the patient for? It's a brain operation.
So anyway, Andrew and I are the one that was talked about this subject, which is a pretty good question. So
Actually,
I'm gonna pass it off.
Didn't I help bring it up with the Betty Crocker?
It might have been.
Probably.
Yeah. So I vaguely remember.
All right. So
Yeah.
effort. Yeah, give Jim credit.
And I wanted to start talking about stuff right away.
Good job,
man.
Jim.
Not even
Shut
really
up.
child.
I know. Well, it's such a great question.
It is.
All right. All right. So Andrew, let's hear your
All right.
Penis.
So the one that comes to mind. And I'm curious if any of you guys remember these, but it was the muscle action figures.
Oh yeah, those little
I remember
pink
those,
things.
yeah.
The wrestling guys.
Wrestling guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so
I had
glad.
1,000
those.
of them.
Yeah. All right. So I actually had to look this up because it's a
Fuck, I
millions
forgot about
of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. Muscle, because it's an acronym.
Yes.
Oh, was it?
Oh wow.
Yes, it
It
was.
was M.U.F.C.L.E. So
Fuck. I forgot
yeah.
about those.
So the big deal with those things were, there you go. Perfect.
Yes.
So they were super cheap. You could get like 4 for like $1, and like a
Yeah,
little
you got a bunch too. Yeah.
Or you can buy like 4 packs and like
they're
8
cool as
packs,
hell.
or 7 packs or like 28 packs. I think was the
Mine are
big
nice.
one.
Ice
Showing right there.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, the top row there with the blue box, that's like a 28 pack.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was like there you go, 28 figures. So
All mine are in an ice cream pail somewhere.
Do you remember the NES game they made off of this?
all right, so I was going to get to that
Sorry.
one. That in a little
Yep.
bit. You're fine. So you're right. You're totally. They made an NES game which is horrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Like it's terrible game.
Horrible.
But
I think it was made in 10 minutes.
this was like 85, 86. So I was like 10 or 11. And
Damn.
the sculpts were like super cool, and of course wrestling was big, but I didn't give a shit about wrestling so much. Yeah,
Right.
there you go. So it's like a wrestling
Horrific
game.
fighting games.
Yeah.
I
just
remember
awful.
like they were kind of pliable. Like you could really kind of
You
bend
could-
them a little
they were
bit.
pretty
A little
hard.
bit.
The hard rubber, plasticky things. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could kind of
They weren't like a
I want that game now.
They weren't like a pipe
Stretch
cleaner or
Armstrong.
anything.
Yeah,
But
there you
yeah.
go. No, so but for me, like as a young, like goofy, aspiring artist, it was like the designs on them were fucking crazy.
They're
It would be
so
like
weird.
yeah, like one dude is like nothing but like a fist, and like his face,
a hand,
one finger, yeah. Or like there's like the six-armed gladiators and like crazy robot guys and like
how about the Brick Man? That was my favorite guy.
Yeah, and there's like some dude that's like nothing but like two big like bricks with spikes on them.
One guy was just a wall with a brick head.
Yeah, they were hilarious. And apparently, I actually did some research on this. I had to look up the acronym, like what it stood for. There you go. Yeah,
it's Jar Jar.
And apparently, the original Japanese version.
Oh, I had the little monster with the in the back there.
Those are probably a big hit with the young ladies.
With like
the pimples,
yeah, the hand is little herpes all over it.
Oh, look at that. Rubik's Cube one.
I had that top-looking one. I had that guy.
The dishwasher.
Oh, there's the cube. There's the cube guy.
One on the far right.
Oh yeah.
It's Rubik's Cube.
And apparently, like, in the original manga anime, there was a dude that had like the little squatty potty toilet from Japan as part of his channel.
Oh wow!
I don't know. The research, I had no idea, but like, yeah. So
they're so cool looking now.
So they're cool. I've never seen them before. Yeah.
But there was a shitload of them. There was like 200 or 300
of
those
those
things.
And everybody would bring them to school and show, like, look what I got.
Right. But like, so they had a giveaway, and the giveaway was a poster that had every single one of them on it.
Oh, right.
And I've got a picture of the poster here. I actually went and found it. I'll post it for the chat, and then you can.
So you could look at the poster and go, oh, I don't have that one. I gotta get that.
Exactly. So like, this is the way you could go find out which ones you had. Like you had, the backs of Transformers. They had like every Transformer you can get from that generation, but like this was the only way you could see all 200 or 300 of these fucking things in once, and it was 2 or 3 UPC codes.
Wow.
Maybe Orange can post this on the show. There we go.
It's funny how many things work like that. Send in your UPC code so we can advertise to you more.
Yep, exactly.
So this was totally.
Oh, there's the wall guy. The arch.
Where's the arch?
The arch. The arch. Yeah, that was the one I had. Okay.
You shall not.
Had mixed up.
That is number 25.
Oh, Mr. Potato Head on the upper left.
Number 24, the Rubik's Cube guy.
Actually, that looks
a
like
lot of these I've never seen.
That looks like a peanut there, Jimbo.
The saw blades.
It's a piece something.
Oh. But they were all supposed to be wrestlers.
Oh, I had the dude to the right of him, that Mohawk guy. I had him.
Oh yeah,
you probably still do somewhere in a bucket in your apartment.
An ice cream bucket. Well, you've been down there in that utility room. Like there's shelves of shit in there.
There's the hand.
There's one of the hands.
The hand ones out there.
I showed you the record player. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the big deal for me was I totally saved up the 2 or 3 UPC codes and then sent away for it and then waited.
Now it's framed on your wall.
No, I don't even.
In your bedroom.
It's a sad story. I brought it over to some friend's house to show off because like they collected them too, and like their dog ate it or it got tore up.
Oh no!
It was.
It's probably worth like $15.
It could have been. The poster is selling for 132 Australian dollars.
There you go. So yeah, my buddy's dog, or it's like having a toy over to a friend's house, and
it's like anything. It's like who, yeah.
But yeah, that was a big deal. And then the waiting, like I know we talked about that, was like the waiting for this thing, like 6 to 8 weeks. It's like, are you kidding me? That's 2 months. Right? That's the whole fucking summer.
Yeah. That's true. That is
I'm not even going to be into this toy by the time I get there.
I'm heading into 5th grade. This shit's going to be too old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be on the Ninja Turtles by then.
Yeah, right. Too old for those too.
Oh, Santa! No,
do you remember when Muscle came out with like the different colored ones? Then next they had like
red and yellow ones.
They had red and green and purple and.
I thought it lost its charm when they did that.
But they were the same mold.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the same year, but I'm seeing that they actually made He-Man versions of Masters of the Universe.
Well, I'm showing Mega Man versions.
I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
I wonder, are those
Dr. White or Light? Dr.
Light. Dr. Wiley.
It's like Santa.
I actually have those. Actually,
is that Mega Man 2?
That's Mega Man 1 because it has Cotman.
Okay.
The problem is that they're flesh colored, so if you shove them up your ass, they're gone.
They do not
the doctor will know what to like.
I'm pretty sure those things have been at one time shoved up many orifices.
Oh, boy.
If they could tell stories, boy, they would tell some stories. Yeah.
Now those, on the other hand,
I mean, those are showing like crazy detailed ones, but like we should say too, like they were really detailed.
They were.
And apparently it's because it was from a manga and an anime in Japan. So there actually was a cartoon. That these were based on.
So they got a cartoon we never got.
We never got it because apparently it was too violent. Yeah. So we got the Mattel.
The makers of tentacle porn, too violent.
Jump back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's right. And they had an NES game which was terrible. We saw that, so that was the end of my notes on it. But yeah, so Muscle, that was my first, and I think
that's a good one.
Most memorable.
Completely forgot about those until you mentioned it. Thank you for that.
I've never seen them before. They're cool.
I love that story.
Well, there you go, Jim. So apparently, since you are one of the co-authors of this concept, please, Jim.
Oh, shit. I ran to almost like a panic when I realized that, oh shit, that's right, it's this week.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't think of anything, but I know I did it, but I did come up with a few. So I'll do the earliest memory I have, which is sending in. I was talking about the little 45s, the little tiny records, and Rice Krispies had a musical record for their cereal. It was a promotional record, and I remember sending in for that. And I can still think of the songs that there were 5 songs on there. It was all promotional for Rice Krispies. And
and a crummy commercial.
it's that one. No, it's a pink one. It's a pink one. There you go. Yep. And they had 5 tracks, and me and my sister like to play it on the faster speed because it sounded like chipmunks were singing it.
Well, that's the one. If you play it in reverse, it tells you to kill your parents.
and to this day,
claim the Fruit Loop defense.
Buy more pop.
Yes. Buy more. I moved out of my house. Got my first apartment at age 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Side 1, the songs are Snap, Crackle, Pop, Rice Krispies, and Waking Up.
They had this like rock kind of version.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I remember the commercial for it.
Western and New Wave.
Yeah, they had a commercial where they showed kids dancing to it and stuff.
That's my earliest memory. I mean, I think I had I have a cereal bowl, a Care Bear cereal bowl in a cup, but I can't remember if that was a send off as well. And then like baseball cards and talking about promotional stuff. I remember sending in a Nintendo Power magazine UPC code to get a Nintendo 64 promotional video, which was that back then it was Ultimate 64 before it came out.
Yeah.
It was called something different, and so you get a VHS tape that's selling you on a new console. You know,
commercial with the commercial in it.
And I think it was Lucky Charms did a Pac-Man read along book and record too. You know, like you got those old little books that you would put the record on, and it's when you hear the chimes, turn the page or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think there was one. I had a Pac-Man one, and I think that was a send off from a cereal from like Lucky Charms or something. So
Nice.
I have a lot of those.
Was it like the Mad magazines where you get the record that was like inside the magazine, and if you tear it out very carefully and then you put it on a different record, you could play that one crappy record to play a song? You guys remember those?
I don't.
I've never heard of that. And
cereal boxes had it too.
Totally, like it's
back of cereal boxes. You cut the record out of it.
It's like a paper thin.
We never had anything like that.
I remember that.
Yeah,
you got to put it on top of another record.
You put it on a different record, and then you put the needle down.
I think
I'm watching YouTube videos.
It was so scratchy. They were scratchy though.
Yeah.
Jackson 5.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah.
I'm watching YouTube videos of that later.
Did you guys ever?
I'm gonna have to look up the Snap Crackle Pop tunes and jam out to
I
that
just
later.
put them on in our chat, Jimmo.
Did you guys ever? Did you guys ever watch the original Voltron cartoon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, well, that like Andrew, when Andrew was talking about the muscle thing, how like we didn't get the muscle show because it was too violent. Well, the Voltron show was like super violent in Japan, and they cut out all the blood and stuff. So like, I'll put a link in the chat there. If you ever want to check out like some of the clips of some of the stuff that was like cut out, like
he's getting into it.
Oh,
didn't they kill Sven in like the Japanese one, but in the American one, he just got
Sven
injured?
dies, and there's blood all over him. Whatever the main bad guy, he was like stabbing people with his sword. You know, when the lions had those knives in their mouths, they would like cut people in half with them.
Prince
they would run.
Prince Lotor, right? That was the bad guy.
That's great.
It's so much better in the faster version, though. Oh, I could play it at 2 times speed, right? Maybe that'll help.
Did they play a Norwegian death metal version of it?
That's Mexican.
All right, it wasn't quite 2 times speed. I take that back. It was probably like, what was the faster speed? It was like 1.5 times. I don't know what the actual
45 versus
33 to 45.
Yeah.
78.
78's the old one.
Yeah, in that clip I uploaded, or I put a link to. If you jump ahead to minute 26, you'll see a Zoltar like stab a guy in the back with his big sword that he has, and then it shows the bad guys killing a whole village of people. All on Voltron.
No, that was like Gotcha Man in the Battle of the Planets stuff that we. Like,
that one too was real violent.
Yeah, that was my first anime that I remember like really being attached to. And it was so heavily edited; it was like a different story.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, I never passed it off. I will pass it to Gak.
All right, I was just watching that video.
Did you like that?
Yeah, nice and violent. So,
you just say nice and violent.
I have a link here.
Nice and violent. That's awesome.
I'll put it in our hopefully. Okay, orange up. That's the mine was Chex cereal, and it was for basically a Chex cereal logoed Rubik's Cube.
Oh, wow.
And one of the picture above to the right of that, you can see the box it came in. Like it was a tight box right over the cube. That's exactly how I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this was probably, I don't know, 81, 82, I'd have to guess, somewhere around there. And I just remember getting like pissed off at my brother because he was cheating. Like he kind of broke it apart to rearrange it. And then I realized, well, I did the same thing to him. For Christmas, like a year or two before that, he got like an actual Rubik's Cube. But I didn't realize he could do that. I was like peeling off stickers.
Oh yeah,
no. Sticker trick. Oh my god.
So like 3 sides matched, and the other ones like wouldn't match.
I did that too, and then you'd have like one of the stickers wouldn't stick very well, like the adhesive wouldn't be matched, and it'd start curling up.
I was an asshole brother, I guess, but that was the payback.
Oh, no, your older or younger brother?
Older, yeah.
Jack, you know what's funny about this?
But you're an asshole.
Yeah. I was literally last night. I was getting quotes from companies in Japan to make a Rubik's Cube normal, and on the white side have my arcade logo put on it.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just giveaways because we're doing some shows and stuff like that to promote the arcade. I was literally getting quotes last night. That's hilarious. That
That's right.
That would be awesome. We should do that giveaway for our show.
Yeah, there you go.
If you send in a few of your arcade UPC codes.
We need UPC codes from a Star Wars action figure, Kenner, a Muscle Man.
Self-addressed.
No, actually send us the toys.
Never too hungover. Never too hungover.
Never too hungover.
Yeah, which is now called Drinkade.
And a box of Coors Light.
So that was my first.
And in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that was my first one. And
there's
my last one
on this shit.
My last one was actually with my kids when they were younger. It's probably 9-10 years ago. 10.
I didn't see. I didn't wrap that.
It's a big ass link there again, Orange Rip, the last one. But so it was the local AM/PM. I take the kids there in the summer to have ices. You know, of course I had to have one, right? You know? And they we're like, whoa! They're like, Dad, they have these mailing things. We get like a beach towel for the pool. you know, so there's like a beach towel and like a blow up raft thing or whatever, you know, like one that you just lay on the flat, whatever you call those. And so we saved up for a couple months, you know, every few days we're having ices, all three of us, you know. So I mailed them in, and you know, before the summer was out, we actually got a towel, the blow up raft thing, and then a keychain. So that was about 8-9 years ago.
Bonus.
Yeah, I think I had to pay like $6.
You are the icy poster boy.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that was pretty much my last one. But yeah, so that was spanning the course of 35 years or whatever, 30 years. Yeah. And I'm going to post something here because I'm going to pass it on to Dave from Buffalo. And the reason why is because I stumbled across this earlier today, and it totally made me think of him. So, Orange,
that is a big
share that
link.
too.
Yeah.
It's 3 links. They keep like putting them all in together.
She said.
So the last one there.
So I gotta get another beer. I'll be back.
Is it a video?
Yeah.
You want me to play the video? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Drunk people doing things.
Instagram
I've seen this. Yeah. I saw this.
I've seen this.
I imagine this was his bachelor years.
Dave from Buffalo's Arcade.
Yeah.
That actually looks like Mancation.
Yeah.
So many people have sent me this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is that your
Yeah,
cabinet?
right, Dave, you've never seen this.
Cabinet.
He sees that
Dave's
every
like,
time
I
he walks down the
recorded
hall.
this video.
Oh, look at the
What is that?
Wrong.
We're not gonna. We're
That's
not going
from
to see a
drinking
bunch
too much
of
Bud
chocolate chip cookies. Right?
You won't, as long as they don't open up the toilet seat.
I don't want to see no chocolate chip cookie or
What was that?
fudge
I left for
cookie.
a second. And I missed
Making
it.
noise like this.
It was somebody walked through some hoarder's apartment, I'm guessing, that had like thousands of cans of Bud Light, the empty Bud Light cans in the apartment.
A keg of beer.
And boxes of fudgy cookies.
And these.
Cases of chocolate chips ahoy.
Keebler. Fudge. Cookies.
All right, Dave. What do you got to have some memories of
Yeah,
stuff.
you know what, dude. I know there's something. Cause when you said the self-addressed stamp envelope,
Yeah.
That's how you got your
remember
police
doing-
badge, right?
I remember. Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, rough one.
No, I take it back.
No, I don't care. No, but there was multiple things, but I can't think of any toys. You know what I remember sending away for?
That's how
when I
you
was
got
a
your
kid?
first Bud Light.
No.
Send
At
away
age
for it.
12.
Hey, Marlboro Miles sending away to get Marlboro.
I'm so happy.
Oh, nice.
I was going to bring that as a post statement because I didn't know anyone would bring that up. But Marlboro Miles was huge in high school.
I know. Well, I was
I'm
a
going to
little
get a
older.
bath towel.
But no, the big thing was when I was a kid in 5th grade was I collected like wacky packages. They had those sticker books like baseball and that where we'd have to put them in the book, and just the feel of the page when it had all the stickers on both sides. But if you didn't have enough, or there was some you could send away for the ones you didn't have, or like the special one or whatever. But I remember doing it for that. I know there was something else,
There's your
but I can't.
Marlboro Miles.
I can't. Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember
Everybody
seeing
was
the
right.
flavor.
I remember the big
Congratulations with all these gifts. You also get lung cancer.
I remember the big deal about saving up for those things is always getting the Zippo lighter.
Yeah.
The camel points was another big one. It's like the Zippo was the big deal,
Yeah, I had one of them.
which you can buy for like $10. Zippos are not
Yeah.
expensive lighters.
Yeah, I have two Zippos. My brother-in-law gave me one on my at my bachelor party.
Yeah,
It says
I
my
remember
brother
that.
from another mother. And it will make it to Brofest. It always comes out at special events.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put fluid in
Leo's
it.
going to have to talk about that later.
How many UPS things do you have to save up to get like an iron lung?
UPS. How many packages do you have to send in?
It's like
You need
5 million.
this.
200 miles a minute.
Can you not see that? Oh, I went away.
Oh no, I totally had a baggie like that. I never actually got it.
I can't see it.
People were selling those miles. That was your
I got the lighter. That's all I got.
I actually have a funny story. I worked at a 7-Eleven in the 90s. And I would cut off the UPS from the cartons after we would sell them, and we'd have a carton, a box. Yeah, so we just kept them, and we sent away for all sorts of shit, like, you know, had a beer, a cozy, stupid little things.
Oh, a koozie.
A cozy. Beer cozy.
Beer koozie.
Mark, why are you drinking?
What do they call those in Australia? Chubby holders or something?
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
Stubby holders.
Stubby
holders.
Stubbies.
Chubby holders.
You still have stubbies.
I knew it was something that seemed vaguely dirty, but not quite.
Hey, it's Stubby.
Well, I had some coolers at Joel's. I don't know if you guys all grabbed them. So, yeah. Some stubby holders.
Yeah.
Great hair, by the way. Oh, sorry.
Sometimes the cartons would come extra big because they'd stuff a ball cap in it. So you get a ball cap and then the ball cap had a big marble logo on it, and I don't want to walk around with marble on my hat, but it was a free hat.
So you did it anyway.
Yeah, I took it for those sunny days.
I'm gonna pass it to.
Wasn't Camel Bucks also? Sorry, real quick. Wasn't Camel Bucks the thing that got Camel in so much trouble with the kids? Because
the animated character got.
Well, yeah, but it was also the fact that they had these giveaway things. There was the Camel Bucks that you could So Marble had you had to cut out part of the carton, or the pack to save the miles. But then Camel had the dollar bill things.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
they were attached to the back of the pack. So you pull the cellophane off, you could pull the Camel Bucks off, and you'd have these giant stacks of Camel Bucks. I'm sure you could find on eBay.
I vaguely remember that.
I think I saw.
So it had a camel on it. That looked like
it was a dollar bill kind of shaped thing. It was
I do remember that.
I remember that too.
Let's look up camel bucks on Google that shit.
There you go, camel bucks.
Yeah.
That top left right there.
There you go.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah,
that attracts the kids to smoking.
Where it looks like someone's package, a man's.
Exactly.
Different denominations
The
too.
balls for the chain.
Yeah, the balls and the dick. It's very phallic.
Yeah.
It's very tiny. It's a tiny cock.
It's just massive balls. That's all.
He's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. It's always cold wherever the camel is.
And if you turn it over on the camel pack, it would have the little boy peeing on the camel and all those little hidden messages and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Cigarette shit.
I miss it.
Whose turn is it? Whose needs to pass it?
I'm gonna pass it to Leo because I know he had a scent for a ton of this shit.
Actually, no.
Inflatable girlfriend.
The one thing I could think of was I remember my parents buying a car through Toyota.
You a fart sound after that because then she springs a leak.
Oh. And Toyota was doing some sort of Dick Vitale promotion where you sent in your picks and you could win free shit and
dick pics.
No, Dick Vitale. You know Dick the college basketball guy?
Okay.
Teenage girls have a vagina.
As it turns out, you actually don't get anything free for dick pics.
Damn it!
And
You usually get fired.
I think I was 8 or 9 when this happened too, so definitely would have gotten some trouble for that one too. But yeah, and they just gave parents are buying a car. And they said, oh yeah, they gave me a bunch of them. You had to go and you had to fill out the brackets, and you had to mail them in on a stamp too. And I think we got a bunch of T-shirts, some logo shit of Dick Vitale, just this big bald head. Everyone knows Dick Vitale is right on this chat, or okay.
The name sounds familiar.
No,
no. This is Dick
Vitale right here, baby.
Dick Vitale, right?
Lead stars win the car. The
Vital Dick, huh?
This was in the 80s. This is 88 or 89. I remember I was probably 8 or 9 or right around the time. So it was in the late 80s. I just remember I think I sent back 100 different picks for the tournament because I did it for March Madness, and that was the one thing I remember just sending a bunch of them back, and then in early May. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was just like a slew of T-shirts and like glasses and like I think there was a plate in there too. It was just like a bunch of little prizes that they gave away. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. It was back when like collectible plates were a big thing.
Yeah.
Like those
the porcelain.
Yeah, exactly. Those yeah. Well. Yes, but that's that was our private collection. But yeah, they're not the Dick Vitale one. But that's the only thing I can think of. I never was really into like I haven't had like a bowl of cereal in probably like 30 years. So like I never did any of those like box top ones. But so that's the only thing I could think of. There's something that I sent back for that was like you had to go and you had to mail and just like I completely forgot about it too for like ever because it was March. It was at the end of March Mandate, which is the beginning of April. So I'm like, oh, by the time it came in May, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell? I'm like, oh yeah, I remember sending back a bunch of these things like 2-3 months ago. So that was the thing I remember just like saving and sending back. Carrie, pass it over to you.
Woo! So I have two things. First, I'm not positive that we actually sent off for, but I think we did it because I was pretty young, but it fit in perfectly. I just dropped it with
like
what we were talking about exactly earlier, which is
my points.
She's like 37. She did this.
She sent all her wine bottles.
Right. So we were talking about
boys
Betty
have
Crocker.
a penis. Girls have a vagina.
Boys and girls cook.
So the new Betty Crocker's the new, and I'm pretty sure what happened is that my mom collected the labels off of the cake boxes and then sent this in and then gave it to me for Christmas.
Wow.
That's my like a very vague recollection of like I was young, which is why I'm like yeah. So it and
is that the original one you had? Is that
this is and like I used this book. I cooked out of it. I used it with my daughter.
Aww.
Yeah, right. Right. Aww. They have pictures of the kids from the test
now
kitchen.
She doesn't care.
Right? Yeah. So they have all the test helpers from the new version. What every junior cook should know.
I would love to
illustrate that book. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Is there like the dad coming home with the briefcase and the mom
dirty way, you
the
fuckers.
cake?
Yeah.
I want to see Carrie.
Give me a martini.
Yeah, where's my martini?
It's the perfect kid. What do kids care about?
How to make dad a martini.
Girls spend all their time in the kitchen to make their man happy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. They know their place.
Yeah. This is for boys and girls.
Oh, yeah, boys and girls. Tuna and chips casserole.
Lovely.
Are the boys' instructions like watch your sister make the thing?
Yes.
Make sure and instruct your sister on how to measure things properly.
Yeah.
Tell her when she's doing something wrong.
The extent of what the boy does is he just goes in the fridge and grabs a beer for his dad.
Yeah.
And when she fucks up, make sure and hit her.
Well, you guys remember when Carrie was here doing the show and she was in the kitchen making dinner. I'm like, she's where she belongs.
Instructions are wait until she's done, then eat it.
Yeah, and my mom actually would make like fancy cakes like this, where they in shapes and things like that. Oh, so yeah, so fond memories of this book from my childhood. It was funny. I was actually looking for do they have the like girls cooking while the boys are watching? That's actually not the case. Like pretty much. Oh, look at this. It was like Spam. Is this like a Spam loaf? Oh my God, this is fucking Spam with some pineapple.
Oh, it's right up your alley. You're not
French green beans.
With canned green beans, no doubt. Step by step, dinner for 4.
Holy shit!
Let's see what to make every day. Yeah. So this is the ham loaf. Anyway, so that was so there was this.
So Jim, expect that for your next visit.
Hey, I like Spam.
Jim is looking forward to the ham loaf and chip casserole.
Yeah, so
And spam liverwurst surprise.
Oh, a beloved
with
thing.
birthday candles. Cake.
My other beloved thing, which actually somebody was talking. Not sadly, I didn't have the cool thing that they were talking about earlier, but.
In 18 years, never did have any fun. But
so the main thing that we had when I was a kid, my mom was not a fan of soda. She thought there was too much sugar in it, and it was too expensive. So she would, of course, make
fruit juice. I was kidding.
She would make herself a martini. Yeah, she would make herself a martini. My probably life would have been better had my mother made herself a martini and in the evening it would got a little
Leave
break.
us alone.
I know, right? Go pass out, Mom. Leave me alone. No, we drank Kool-Aid, the small packets, not the kind that already came with the sugar because that was also too expensive, but the kind that you could get for like 10 cents and you add a cup of sugar.
There is the powder.
I forever collecting those. And we got the Kool-Aid pitcher.
Oh my god!
That is awesome.
I don't know if you can tell that it actually you can see his little face on there or not, but
let me present.
It does have the raised face on the Kool-Aid pitcher.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, that's amazing.
You need to sit
I want
sit on my house.
Just don't go near that with the Geiger counter. That thing will just go off the hook.
Well, the funny part is it seems so much smaller than I remember it being. So it has the marks on the back of where to put it.
That's what I hear that every other week.
Soundbite.
It looks so much bigger on
you get used to it after a while, Chris.
So it has the marks where if you get the kind with the sugar, so then you just fill it to the half, and then I guess 1 quart, and then this would be the second quart up here. So yes,
it teaches you how to rot your teeth.
That would be the most brilliant, a pour us a Manhattan drink though.
Andrew, that's plastic. It might disintegrate.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like one of the days.
Well, as long as it's not made by Days In, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch?
Check underneath.
Did you guys catch Necros's comment about the tuna casserole?
No.
So the recipe for jailhouse tuna casserole. It's can of tuna, mayo, and ramen noodles.
Oh
God.
I've done that for lunch at work before. It's fine.
Dude, I want to understand what our own Nash villain has been talking about here. She's been watching infomercials about how to pour wine from a bottle without removing the cork.
Really?
Houdini.
What the fuck? Clint needs to explain that shit.
Get on the show.
Yeah, get on the show.
We'll make an 11th spot for
I've
you.
seen it done, but it's a really fancy needle thing that pokes through the cork. It's like $150 attachment on top of your wine.
Oh, Jesus.
For like super expensive wine because it keeps it sealed.
You can taste the.
Brad, I saw you posting that. That's great.
All right, it sounded a lot dirtier than it was.
That's the first time I posted that John video. I was like, it's about time.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's still
Kool-Aid Man was kind of like the original, he was sort of like the Macho Man Savage kind of in a way.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I want to see Carrie go up to Napa Valley and go on a wine tour and fill that thing with sangria.
Yeah.
How's that for a topper?
What's kind of weird about those commercials too, as a kid, is how did they? Because they didn't have CGI back then. So how did they do the effects where it like splashed around in his head and stuff when he was after he came through the wall and he's talking to the kids? They'd show like the liquid in there and stuff, and the ice probably was like plastic cubes or something.
Probably hand drawn.
I was always wondering how they. No, it wasn't animated. Well, later on they animated it, but
right.
in the really old ones, if you look on YouTube, it was a guy in a costume, and it looked like they had some sort of fluid in there. I don't know. It was really cool looking how they did it.
It was like one of those things where it's like a fake cup, where it's like they have like a little layer,
like a double layer, maybe.
It was probably an optic effect.
Yeah.
Where they would,
I mean,
where
it was
they
definitely real. There was
would-
physical liquid in there.
Yeah.
No, because it splashed accordingly. But yeah, that was pretty cool effect.
Fresh.
Wow.
All right, so I will pass it.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Go.
To actually, well, Buffett's asked to go last, so I'm going to pass it to Brad.
Well, as a Canadian, we didn't get these opportunities very often because most of the ones on the cereal boxes and shit said U.S. only.
Yeah.
Which a lot of stuff, but actually, even today, a lot of stuff still is like that. But more and more, we can join things. But there were some. This doesn't really qualify as far as box tops goes, but this is like the only thing that I did as a kid, so I'm going to show it. I don't have it anymore.
So the only thing you did as a kid was fart a bunch?
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Oh, wow. You actually did those? It's like, I don't know anyone who
I wasn't good enough to get to do it.
either.
Yeah. So when I went to my best friend's birthday party, and both of us were in television owners. And so for his birthday, we wanted to rent an Atari 2600. So we rented an Atari 2600.
Oh,
we rented two games. We rented Pitfall and we rented Defender.
Oh, good calls.
We literally stayed up the entire night, not losing a man on Defender. The whole entire night. We found a pattern and we just sat there. I don't know why we didn't stop, but we didn't. And the next day we were playing Pitfall.
Did you record it with your 8mm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm older than that, man. At 8mm. 8mm
3 minutes at a time.
But then it turned out
No sound.
So
No sound or maybe sound.
My best friend's mom had remember those Kodak Instafilms, the ones with the discs on them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she took a picture of you had to take a picture of the CRT screen of your television set, right? To show your
And
score.
send it in. Oh yeah.
No flash. No flash too.
You did the Todd Rogers.
No. Because if you do it with flash, you just get a
Rogers.
Yeah. If you did it with the flash, you got just the screen, like it looked like the TV was.
It was
on.
all flashed. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to keep the flash on.
And there was a second one that I tried to do actually for the Intellivision, because there was a rumor that you could do it, but no one had ever seen it. And so that was I don't know if any Intellivision. Mock, you've had television, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a lot of games. for it, too.
When I was like 10 years old, I was able to get 1,000,000 points on Tron Deadly Discs and bring out the orange guys with the light.
Yeah, the guards. The guards.
Yeah, they have white lightsabers.
Yeah, and you touch them once, and it's all over.
Yeah, and apparently, if you made it to that point, if you took a picture of the screen and sent it in, you were to get something too. And I did that. I never.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't get anything, so I don't know if you were supposed to or not, but I tried.
Yeah, that was actually tough to get that far too. I was able to do it eventually, but yeah.
I don't know how you survived.
If you guys ever get a chance to play Tron Deadly Discs, it's actually pretty good. Retro.
We actually have a
crotch
song,
shot, Dave.
I would play Tron Deadly Discs for so long and not die that my best friend, who also had television, would come over and he would just sit in a chair and he'd go, Tron Deadly Discs, Tron Deadly Discs, Tron Deadly Discs, over and over, try to bug me to get me to die.
Would you like a Logic Pro with that?
Did you do the trick where you stay halfway in the doorway and just wait for them to come out and nail them?
The recognizer?
No, when you could stay, like you put your guy halfway inside one of the doorway, and they would come out, and you could just
no. So I had two tricks.
Who asked you?
The two tricks were if you shot a guy, if you push the button that you shot him with,
I'm your program.
It would come right back.
The disc would come back instantly.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, their mouths.
And then to kill the recognizer, I would just stand right on top of him, on top of his little bubble head, and I'd do the same thing. I'd shoot down and I'd return it back to me real quick, and you'd be able to kill him no problem.
Yeah.
Once you learn those two tricks, you basically didn't.
It was buzzing.
Yeah. That was a good game. It was good. Really good. Unfortunately, the other Tron games weren't as good. The Tron Solar Sailor and Tron Mazatron was terrible.
I used to have a pretty extensive console cartridge collection. One of the Tron games, I think for the 2600, Deadly Discs or one of those.
Yeah, they in television
actually got a joystick.
Hey, welcome to the conversation.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, for bringing a leak. There was a joystick. It was basically, it looked like a Tron joystick.
Oh yeah, the M Network or whatever made it.
Yeah,
And it was like had a circular base, and I think it had like a suction cup to like stick on the counter.
Shit, I might have one of them in my collection.
It sort of looked like the Tron controller in the arcade a little bit.
Yeah,
really?
Tron
I don't have one of them.
Well, it must have been
joystick.
It must have been weird to play it for the Atari because
it was M Network.
To change what direction you wanted to shoot.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So you stuck it to a countertop? Because I'm pretty sure I've seen that online somewhere.
Yeah, I like the old quick shot joysticks and stuff.
Okay, I found it.
The Amiga.
Yeah, a plunger and then girls go down.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, let me see this.
It sticks right to your nipple.
Yeah,
I thought it had a suction cup or a series of suction cups on the bottom. Yeah, it does.
Shit,
Yeah, it reminds me of the arcade joystick kind of.
It's got like 4 suction cups on the bottom, I think 3 or 4 of them.
That's cool as hell.
So you can stick it down on the counter.
They also
Not
made
for lactators.
There's a track and field one too that I've been trying to buy off eBay for.
I used to have one of those.
See, I was pissed that for television you couldn't unplug them and plug them back in.
Television 2 you could.
2 you could, yeah, but
you had to have the keypad to play it, right?
Yeah, you couldn't use this button.
Yeah, no, the track and field. I want to get the track
trackball.
and field controller for the 2600. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a track.
I also have an Arkanoid one, I think. Well, that's NES. NES Arkanoid.
Oh yeah, they had a special. Yep.
I can't believe I can remember M Network and all that. That was like tucked away in my brain cells,
right?
From a million years ago.
I used to have one of those.
It's time to get another drink, Mark. You shouldn't remember that shit.
Look, they're actually just leaf switches inside.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. I've seen that before, but never seen inside of one.
I kind of want to get an Atari 7800 again. My cousin had one. I was jealous.
Where's the track and field controller? Where would you get that? Like
that's for track and field on Atari 2600.
Yeah, I've seen it for sale on Atari Age. Atari Age, they come up once in a while for sale. So.
Yeah, I've seen them locally even for sale, but I keep missing them.
Never seen one. So, yeah. Only for sale.
Cool. I'm trying to look up a picture of it, but I got one controller one time because I was like, trying to find all these crazy weird things as I was collecting. And it looked like a giant trackball for the 2600. It was like I want to say it was a yellow trackball on a blue base, and it was giant. And it looked like, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool for like.
They had one for the 5200. That might be what you're thinking.
But no, I was thinking it was for the Missile Command or something. But when I got it, because I bought it with
this one for the 7800 right here.
No, it wasn't actually a trackball. It was like a D switch or D pad kind of thing.
Right, it only moves so far.
Yeah, no, it just clicks. It had like Atari switches under it.
Yep. I totally remember.
And I was like, "What the hell is this?" I thought it was a trackball.
It's not a free spinning ball. It's like a ball. It's just like a joystick.
It's not a free baller.
It's like I said, it's kind of like a D-pad thing.
Yeah, a D-pad. That's a ball. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Did Atari for the 2600? They never came out with a trackball, right?
I don't think so.
They had the paddles, so that was about it.
Paddles.
Yeah, paddles were the closest thing.
You're not talking about this one, are you?
No, it was kind of a bright blue base with a yellow. It looked like a button, or a trackball. I'll see if I can find it.
The thing I put in chat, I've got one of these for the NES. It's the dance mat.
Not this one.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
That is weird.
Like a clown nose on a.
I just searched for ball joystick.
Clown nose.
D-pad ball joystick.
Don't put it in our chat. Put it in the IRC chat so the people can click on it.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, man.
I thought it could get presented.
Yeah,
so, I got one of them for the. I have one of them for the NES anyway. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the track mat.
Yeah.
The poopy pants.
Those are pretty common in North America. Didn't it come with them?
Oh really?
One version came with that.
Yeah, one of the first versions came with it.
I'd never seen one till a couple of years ago over here. So yeah.
They work for shit though, because especially if your carpet had too deep a pile, which they all did.
Yeah.
They worked.
I've never even plugged it in.
They moved around and they
wouldn't register.
Yeah.
And then would it get all crinkled?
Yep.
Never played it. Just it sits there in a box with the rest of my shit.
Well, it works for like 2 games.
Really? Yeah, I don't even know if I have the game.
It's like Robbie the Robot. That was a book.
I really
well, then
want-
everyone.
I got a power glove. I have a power glove. Yeah.
You
Power
use it like
glove.
it's supposed to be used a couple times. You're like, "Fuck this!" And you get on the floor.
It's in front of you.
Did the power glove ever work for anything?
Oh.
No.
It takes us-
And you know what? You know what,
Like
Mark?
it works.
That's. I wanted that so bad. I remember tearing out the J.C. Penney's catalogs, highlighting it, giving it to my mom, and I was so
For
disappointed.
Christmas.
I asked Santa for it. And I never got it.
Now, did any of your friends get it so you could play it and realize what a hunk of shit it was?
Oh, they do.
No,
suck
thank God.
so bad. They're terrible.
No.
Because that's what happened to me. I didn't get it because I think I was in high school by then. But like I had a friend that picked one up and he goes, "Look at this piece of shit! I'm taking this back to Toys R Us." Because back then Toys R Us would take back anything, so you could take back games. You could beat them on a weekend and bring them back, and they would take it.
And then the thing is that everyone just assumed, oh, it's made by Nintendo. It's going to be gold.
Oh, it's got the seal of approval on it.
Yeah.
It's got to be quality.
So,
Yeah, it
so
was Mattel, wasn't it?
buddy of mine, Eric, who actually is the minor collector, he's bought a bunch of games for me. He bought my old blue Donkey Kong and my Millipede and some other games. He totally had a Power Glove, and he apparently fucking loved it.
Really?
He said
the only game I wanted it for was Punch Out.
Yep.
Right.
That's why
Which they had in the commercial too. Remember the kid?
He said that he loved it. It was a big deal for him. He probably
Well,
said
you know,
the commercial.
it took a long time for that shit to actually work because it went with there was a Power Glove, and then Sega Genesis had the Menacer gun, and that was a very finicky piece of shit too. Like you really had to be in the sweet spot for it, and then and Super Nintendo then had the cannon.
Super Scope 6. Super Scope 6.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit better. It was, but you know what? I always went back. Then I always went back to the light guns.
Like, how do you upgrade a fucking zapper? You make it a bazooka.
Yeah, Zapper is so much better.
But then they're no longer using. They're now using sensors, and it was not as good as using the light. You know, people are still using CRTs. Why don't you just stick with the light gun? You know?
Yeah, fuckers.
Yeah, and fuck you with your orange light guns. Like, what the fuck with the NES people like collecting the orange ones? The gray ones are better.
Yeah, the gray ones are the coolest.
I can't find a gray one. I can't find a gray one in Australia.
They're hard to find.
Ka-ting.
I might have two of those. Give me 1 second. Let me look.
Yeah.
Oh, two of
I'll
those.
swap you one of my
kids are getting shot running outside.
Orange balls. I'll have a box of those.
This thing sucks so bad. I let my kids play with it now as a toy. I went and grabbed it out of their toy box.
I saw. I think
it only
actually,
works well for jerking off. Yeah.
I think actually.
That's
I think actually.
a good idea.
I think Griffin linked one.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
It was painted gold.
Jerry, do you want a gray one?
I would love a gray one.
Hey, big shooter.
I saw that Gak, what you're talking about, with the Thanos glove.
Yeah.
That was the power glove.
Right, yeah.
That's the proper original ones.
Yeah, that's rad. I have
That's
many orange ones.
Andrew sleeps with those every night under his pillow.
No.
So I've heard the optical parts inside those.
Yes.
The optical parts inside those you can interchange
$400
with light gun
actually
parts.
work with the. You can use these with the Versus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, you can.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What?
The inside.
100%.
I had
do you just have to rewire it?
I think you have to rewire the connector, yeah, because it's the old
right, but the guts of it work.
Or you can
There's
take
a couple
the
things
guts
you have to do on the board itself to make it work.
Look who
shut up.
decided to join the
Finally joins the conversation.
Who asked you?
I've done it several times. So
Gosh, you grown ass.
Easter boobs.
yeah.
What's the next holiday? It ain't Easter.
Growing ass.
Hey, I chime in when I'm needed, you know?
When you're
So-
feeling like a smart ass.
Who else hasn't gone besides Buffett?
My God.
Mine is
Jerry,
a bad story.
I've been drinking, so remind me about that. But one of those is yours. It's all yours.
Where's the running animation? I missed that.
Is Buffett the last one to go?
Is Jerry gone?
I haven't gone, but my story's nothing compared to you guys. So.
Okay, Jerry, go.
All right, your guys' stories are awesome. Mine would have been probably 20 years ago was when I did it. Thank you. About 20 years ago, the bottles of Coke, the plastic bottles, sending away a heap of those things just to get a Sony Discman. That's what they had to deal for. So you had to send in about pretty much.
Oh man,
That's not nice.
He's already self-deprecating himself enough. You don't.
No, I well, let's put it this way. I experimented a lot in high school, so my childhood. My childhood memory is pretty fuzzy because of what I was doing at the time. So I don't remember some of the stuff. If I did,
that sounds more interesting than
sex with older men. What's going on?
Let's just say
I'll show it to you, but you can't touch it.
Experimenting with hallucinogenics. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we're still doing that.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, when does the experimental phase stop?
I don't know. Apparently, Colorado is still trying to legalize mushrooms now. So.
Are they still
I'm moving to fucking Colorado then.
Those are nuts.
This is terrible.
Pot wasn't enough.
That's it.
Don't you remember that, Leo? He wanted to do mushrooms and get arrested or something like that?
Yeah.
Say what now?
I was trying to get
San Diego. He kept going on and on about that. I thought that was you when we were trying to help him.
Tells me shrooming and being in jail doesn't sound like a good time.
He was saying something like that.
That sounds horrible.
From memory, I was trying to get drunk, me and Mock drunk, and we were going to get arrested or something.
Yeah, he was like, you haven't had a good time unless you're arrested or something.
All right, I'm going to Australia again.
Yeah, all right, come stay at my house.
Yeah. I'll bring a light gun.
I'll hook you up.
Oh,
Nice. We'll trade for hallucinogenics.
I'm not flying. You come here and get high. Well, no problem.
Right. We'll take
turns. Otherwise, you got to hide it in your butt, Andrew.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure I'm willing to take the plug.
Pretend it's one of the muscle men.
Make sure it's wreck your pooper.
Yes. Yeah, talk about wrecking your pooper.
Getting wrecked.
Man.
Shit.
I'm neither small nor Japanese, so.
I said good day.
Who was last then? It was Buffett, wasn't it? So on to Buffett.
Yeah, if everybody else is going.
Yep.
I'm still here, damn it.
I'm not going to be driving you into nowhere land at Grinkers next year. And keep this up. Yeah. We're not going to be doing pleasure cruises.
All right. But yeah, I actually got quite a few of the things that you guys have said. Like I got Carrie's the thing that Carrie had, the
thong?
The cookbook?
Oh.
No, not the cookbook. The Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Right.
sweet.
We
The
actually got
G-string?
the little. Did you get the little glasses to go with it?
No.
Yeah, I got the set of 4 glasses as well.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Yeah.
And they were plastic?
So yeah, just like the Kool-Aid guy.
The same frosted?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, that's cool. No.
I got one of those. I think all 4 of those guys. I believe. You guys were talking about
Hey,
it.
how much balls? I want a box of those. Give me a box of those naked lady tees, and give me 2 of those. Give me 6 of those.
And I got those, and I got we got 2 or 3 of those as well. Put those in bottles and stuff like that, and put the cap on it. When you squeeze the bottle, it would go up and down.
The
With
turtles?
the
Down game.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony. Wow. So did Tony the Tiger. Wait, so did he spit out
in a
milk?
bed
I'm
of
trying to
salt?
figure out what-
No,
Did he spit out milk?
no,
Like jerk him off when he spit
Yeah,
out milk? Like,
It looks like he has the hole where his mouth is.
Yeah. You stop it with a water bottle or whatever, and when you put the cap on it and you squeeze it, you change the density or the pressure of the air inside, and he would go up and down depending on how hard you grip the bottle, how hard you squeezed.
I'm getting turned on right now.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I just wanted to timestamp of the show. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to refer to this.
All right. I'm coming back to this one later.
Yeah, sadly, we don't have board to show the picture.
Yeah, and I got some of the muscle men from there.
Nice.
I got
You had the poster?
no, I never
All
got
right, well, shut the fuck up then.
yeah.
No, just,
Like me and Andrew have had the same amount to drink.
Seriously, I was really worried that like I was going to bring up Muscle Men and people were like, "What are you talking about? Wrestling little stupid 2-inch.
No, I got them. Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. I
fucking
remember.
We all collected them.
I'm so glad
that was such a
reality.
great
Yeah.
down memory lane. That was so good.
I got a bunch of them.
Awesome. You still have them?
Yeah, they're somewhere in my collection of stuff. But yeah, I have them
You should
somewhere.
take pictures
With a
of what
bunch
you
of
got.
K7000 chassis.
Like, yeah, just set it up. Set them up next to some fresh tube. Next time you find them, if you run across them and take a picture, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
those would be great
I
as
will
little
if I ever do.
knickknacks
But yeah,
around.
they're mixed in stuff that's
If
somewhere.
you find them, you should just that'd be that.
I wonder if you could get Muscle Man on like eBay or something. I bet you could.
I'm sure you
I just looked. They're about $12 Australian each, plus fucking some ridiculous shit.
Oh, so they're about 25 cents a piece.
Yeah, probably. It's like $35 each shipping from America. So
Yeah.
you guys are probably getting them in an envelope or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But
eBay prices are ridiculous.
yeah, we sent away. We got some different types of spoons with different things on them. We got crazy straws from one mail-in thing.
I remember. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we did that.
I remember
too.
crazy straws from like McDonald's and shit like that.
Well, we used to also get them from 7-Eleven. They used to have them at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Big old swirlies.
And stop and
right.
go.
Yeah, I wish I could remember all the things that we got. We got 3, 4, 5, 6 different more things. I know one of them here, not recent, but within the last 10 years, we sent in some box tops and got some R2d2 heads that were bowls. If you turn them over,
Oh, that's cool.
they also came with a base to where it looked like the other part of the ring that the head sits on. And when you pushed it down, it would make noises, the R2d2 noises.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That sounds almost as excruciating as someone like mixing their tea
Yeah.
with a hangover. Eating breakfast cereal out of a bowl that fucking wants to talk to you.
Yeah. But yeah, we got those.
And I don't care.
10, 15 years ago. Yeah, we got them just before my mom
That
died.
sounds awesome.
One of the last things we got.
Wait, and that was something you had to send away for? You had to,
Yeah, you had to send away for them. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they just showed up in the mail just one day. Like, oh, okay, they came in. Sweet.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. It's kind of like getting art from this old game.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Okay,
Sorry.
That's
That's
a winner.
Up, weren't you?
How's that tacky side out going?
That's a winner. That's a good one. Hey, actually, hey Buffett, I gotta. Since you're a big fisherman, have you ever? Well, actually, you don't hunt, do you?
I don't, but I can if I want to. I just don't.
Well, one of the big things that me and my dad have done for years, since I started hunting, is we hunt squirrels, right?
Yep.
And you know MEPS, the company MEPS that does fishing tackle.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things ever that we do annually is you can send in squirrel tails, and trade them in for tackle. So they will take the tails, they'll use them to make fishing tackle, and they give you get like a magazine, like a booklet, and the tails are kind of like a currency. So for like 7 squirrel tails, you get this kind of fishing tackle. So we've been doing that since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So I think that's fucking badass. Like, yeah.
Just so you know, whenever you refer to a squirrel, you don't call them a squirrel, you call them limb bacon.
Oh,
That's what they are, limb bacon.
I call them Frodo Bagans.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
How do you?
Squirrels are delicious. They're just the bacon of the trees. Is what?
Yeah, that's how I always thought of them.
Yeah. Some eggs and some bacon of the trees. And can you imagine the opening that freaking
Carrie
box?
has not had squirrel yet.
Yeah,
but it's
wakey eggs and squirrel.
Yeah. Imagine working in that place and then opening up like these
Squirrel
boxes
bacon.
and boxes of like tails.
Bacon would be
an SLT.
Miniaturized. Yeah.
Do you shoot them or hunt? Oh, trap them, Jim.
Check out these beauties.
There we go.
We hunt them with 22 caliber rifles.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. That sounds really fun.
So
It's one of my favorite seasons because it's usually early fall.
That's actually not a trackball. That's the thing I was saying.
It's
Oh, you
D-pad.
lean on
It
it.
looks like a trackball, but that's
It's
like
a
a
giant
8-way joystick.
No, it's a D-pad.
Oh god.
They look
Yeah,
like
just-
yellow titties. to me.
No, it's an eight-way.
directions.
It's
From the
8-way.
Simpsons?
It's 8-way.
It's a 49 way.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Simpsons.
Avatar titties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Avatar titties.
I just remember getting that. I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. I was
Then you
thinking it was
pull
like
it.
a trackball.
No, it's just a joystick with a fucking awkward trackball.
Yes.
Chris, stop playing with the Avatar titties, Chris.
Exactly.
Gak, what you didn't realize is those were special needs joysticks.
Yeah.
For amputees.
Some dude worked that shit with his
That's
elbow.
how you play with your elbow. Yes.
Yeah. I love the gym.
We are on the same wavelength, same amount of booze, probably too.
Yeah. So veterans can play Atari 2600.
Hey, so is there anyone left? Is that it?
That's it, I think. Yeah.
That's it.
That was a good question.
So
That
real
was
quick,
a really good question. That was
so
fun.
It was great.
my quick follow up to those two were like the ultimate one that I never got was right before Return of the Jedi was the Emperor action figure from Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And the Anakin after he resurrects himself.
Oh.
Both of those required UPC
Sebastian.
codes.
Force Ghost, Anakin.
No, so there was the Anakin. It was the old Anakin.
Yeah,
From
Yes.
the original, like from what you saw him for like.
With the super eyebrows.
Yep, with super
Ah,
eyebrows. Yeah.
that one. Wow.
Yep. The one
Oh,
that was not David Prowse, who should
Yeah,
have
yeah.
been David Prowse, but it wasn't.
Agree.
But like,
Agree.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, there was an action figure you could send away for the Emperor and for the Anakin Skywalker at the end of Jedi, the original one, not the fucking Hayden Christensen one.
Yeah,
yeah. And
Yeah, we
those,
don't count that.
those were like uber rare, but I remember like hearing about friends. I never saw one, but hearing about friends at school who said they sent away for those toys. Never saw them, but yeah,
Oh,
that was
damn.
the two ones from Jedi.
I wonder if that's the Emperor one I have, but I don't have. I definitely don't have the Darth Vader.
So the Emperor was something you had to send away for.
You could not go into a store and buy Emperor. You could not go into a store and buy an Anakin.
Now, was there more than one Emperor? Because I had the one in the chair. I didn't have like all.
That'd have been from the movie, probably.
There was a stand-up one, I think, was the one. From
Okay,
the,
okay,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yep. And he had like
How
it
about
was all plastic robes.
How about some of the Star Wars toys that you couldn't get unless you bought the big set? Like if you know, remember that corner section of the Death Star,
Yep.
and it had like the trash compactor at the bottom that you could turn the crank and it would close with the phone in it. But it came with the monster
The
from
monster, yeah, the little
from
green
the trash
green
bin, and
molded-
you could actually see what it would look
Wow.
like. You know, 'cause in the
And
movie
it was
you
this
just see his
weird like
eyeball.
bat thing.
Yeah, with an eyeball
like,
on
with
it.
an eyeball on it.
Did
yeah.
any of you guys? Did any of you guys have the Imperial Walker? The big Imperial Walker.
No, I
had one.
I lusted that one. That was an amazing.
No, that was something
Me
I
and
wanted.
me and
That's
my
a million
sister had
Falcon.
one. The big AT-AT
Yeah.
or whatever.
Have you ever
That's
seen like
almost
that?
expensive.
There's like a bunch of like a YouTube or not YouTube, like it's like pictures on the internet of like that walker, like taking someone dressed in a full stormtrooper outfit, taking that for a walk like as a dog.
Yeah.
It's like kissing on a
Come
tree.
here, Fido. Fido, come on.
And it's like totally like lifting a leg on a tree.
So how much was the Walker back in 1985 or whatever it was? Or
Probably
80,
Millennium Falcon price, $50, which is
probably
crazy.
$50. Yeah, back then was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean a lot of money. So
But no,
yeah,
parent-
my parents couldn't
you-
afford it.
Yeah.
Guys, check out YouTube chat. Gus Scott said he had the Emperor.
Oh,
But back then, like, and television was $399,
Yeah.
and even games were like $60 back then.
They're pricey.
Yeah, toys weren't cheap back in the day.
No.
Sorry, it's a
That's
long
that.
link, but those are the Kool-Aid glasses.
Holy shit, that's a long link.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It doesn't even click for me.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No.
All right, hold on.
Two.
That's a link from hell.
Yeah. Whoa.
if there's not titties, I'm not going for the effort. This
Called
show
the
has
sh-
been
called the shortener.
very, very lacking in titties in our links. By the way,
Tits?
someone fix that.
Tits McGee.
All right. I'm gonna have to do a little show and tell here because I was looking for something that I thought was in here. So my
isn't all your shit packed up? Yeah.
Right. Well, I know. Well, here's the deal. In the garage up above, I had stuff in storage that I hadn't touched in years. Like my mom gave me a couple storage bins of stuff from my childhood, and I just shoved them up there, up in the attic, and never touched them.
What'd you find?
And so,
if you have Muscle Man, I'm gonna go rub on her.
All right. Well, this is only part of
1980s porn.
the
Oh,
rest of it.
Dagobah.
I don't know if this looks familiar.
Yep, that's Dagobah.
Dagobah, yeah.
Yep.
So this is the. There's actually a foam.
The Dagobah playset.
Like foam right here.
Yep.
I've got that, yeah.
Oh, that's
And
the
there's
swamp.
So there's
You can attach the boxes to those.
You can see like a lever here to move the dudes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember
Kind
that.
of button here that moves whatever this is.
Yep.
The rock.
balls. Yep.
Okay.
Move the rock up in the air.
We'll find more, but then I saw this box, and I'm like, I wonder if there's any Star Wars characters in here.
Oh no.
And, there isn't Star Wars characters in here, but check this out.
Weed. Sorry.
Oh, look at
Holy
shit.
Look at this stack of
that's
Tron.
cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And there's, I don't know. I haven't even looked at any of this.
God.
Decades.
Put them in your bike spokes.
That's really cool.
Dude, I will give you Jerry's light gun. What do you got there?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'll let him have my light gun if he gives you that.
Let me dive a little deeper here. I don't even know what's in this. It's in an old Vans shoebox.
Nice.
Yeah, here, this is the weed and the porn.
Oh boy.
Wait,
Here we go.
Never mind, can't show you this.
If we hit porn.
I want that shoebox.
Yeah, I'm thinking the
So
shoebox
this
too.
is full of cards.
Holy shit.
So there's Star Wars.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
And Battlestar Galactica.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
God.
I mean, this whole thing's full of them. So Star Trek.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at this
Alright.
stuff. And it's probably, 35, 40 years old. I have no idea how old it is.
How the hell did you keep all that away from your children?
Check that out.
Oh, wow.
Spock with long hair. All right.
Morrison of Spock.
That was during his initiation.
Yep.
So,
Holy shit.
Yeah. And if you have seen Gak's garage and the way the games are set up, there's no question that it is how he kept that away from his children. He couldn't have gotten to that. Oh, wow.
15 cent comic books. Donald Duck. Woody Woodpecker.
Oh.
They're in really good condition still, too.
Yeah.
The link
No
I posted.
fading.
You get that shit in bags, man.
Yeah.
You like these ones?
Put some cardboard behind. No, cardboard behind
Oh,
himself.
wow.
It's about as sharp as a bowl.
Goddamn savages around here.
I have
Star
no
Wars
idea.
comics.
They were 35 cents.
You need to put those in fresh bags.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Get those
cardboard
in
behind
cardboard.
him. Stop being a savage.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime.
It's like throwing them back in the box. It's like no big deal.
There's a nice reading material right here.
Nice.
I've got that.
I had that book. I had that book too.
Childhood here, right?
Everybody had that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I borrowed it from a library and never took it back.
So this is one of two things. Let me see if I can.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Yeah. All right.
The link I posted in chat's another thing I got from Box Tops or from Nestle Quick.
Found someone you have, I would say.
I don't know why my mother would hold on to something like this. I have no idea.
That's awesome.
Mirror.
Wow.
Your first mirror.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh, the Mazinga Warriors. I had
Oh,
the
Godzilla.
And actually, I tried to sell it at a garage sale for $5, and I don't think
I had the
bought it.
Transor Z guy.
I'll give you 20 plus
Mazinga.
postage.
I'll give you 20.
Plus postage.
Yeah, that's worth a lot of money.
I'll give you 10.
Oh, dude.
Shogun, the other Shogun Warrior. That one shoots discs out of his chest.
Wow.
These are worth a lot of coin right now.
Yeah.
Very possibly, yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
The boxes are red trash, but you'll still be able to see.
So this came from Japan, and then like they didn't have a show
It's got
on
the
it or
sticker
anything,
on
but
it.
kids all wanted it. This is my elementary school years.
Right now, it's like the TMT, Teenage Mutant Turtle boards. Those fucking stuff now. Guys have got money to spend on this shit right now, so sell it.
I'm almost considering selling my whole game for the price of a fucking
I know, right?
Right.
And get a pinball table.
Well,
this Godzilla has a ton
of your games.
Oh,
resolution.
There's an arm that shoots off, I guess.
Yeah, and the tongue has fire that comes out.
Yeah. All right, so let's see if I
Did
can.
you even
not
fucking
break
play
it.
with it as a kid?
I used to love this thing. My friend had one. That's fire.
Take that one to the bedroom.
That's insane.
I love that he has like a
Chris.
wheels on his feet.
Chris, bring out Godzilla again, Chris.
I had more Star Wars.
I wish your tongue was as long as Godzilla, Chris.
He's better than you, Chris. Dude, this is ridiculous.
Hold on. Okay, another Star Wars book.
Add that too.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I remember that gold cover. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so here's I had no idea this was in here. Space Invaders Atari 400.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just amazed you have the boxes for this.
The
stuff.
boxes?
This is an awesome show and tell.
You guys know anything about MicroQuest?
Hey,
Nice unicorn you got there.
check out the link. Check out the link I posted in.
Wasn't it for the BBC computer?
In our chat, how much it's worth. Yeah, our chat or both chats. I put it in. Check it out.
Are you fucking kidding me?
$800.
What?
How much?
Delete
Well,
this episode.
That doesn't have the
like.
box or the thing that shoots in the chest or anything.
Worth nothing.
You have to beware
lose.
of eBay, of eBay pricing.
Look for sold prices.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, look at sold prices.
Or
Oh, yeah. Do this
Yeah,
right.
Jack has the box and everything now. Godzilla is $722.
If you
Look
could
at the sold listings, please.
Yeah, that's a make an offer.
Oh, stop painting on Jack's
No, it's amazing. I'm sure what he has is worth hundreds of
Oh,
dollars.
dude, you guys remember these?
throw the
This is
box
like
on
brand new.
500, buy it now.
You guys remember the Gala kites?
Yep, the kites.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
put
had one of
stickers,
those.
The eyeball stickers on it.
Yep.
Those are the kites for the kids that
It's
came
like
out of the
brand
closet.
new in the original bag.
Did you ever play with
I
toys
love
when you
playing
were a
with
kid?
No, he was riding bikes.
Somehow my mother
Yeah,
showed
pretty
me
much.
this.
Yeah.
All of his bikes are in a factory box.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those bat things would always rip, but they were so cheap. You just go out and get another one. They're so
Yeah,
fun.
what kid is
So,
like,
I
hey,
mean,
thanks
obviously
for this
we're all
toy,
huge
Mom and
fans
Dad.
of Star Wars
I'm going to
stuff.
store it and never open it.
I try to make my kids do that.
That's
I'm about to open it.
Anything else interesting in here?
Hey, don't have fun
Yeah.
with this, Timmy. Just put it on the wall on the shelf. Because
So there's a Godzilla for
it's going to pay for
$720.
college.
No. Well, yeah.
Wow.
I just don't want to know for my
Oh, that's
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I gotta see what other ones have sold at, but
Sell
looking
some
at-
toys, buy a
Yeah.
pit.
I'm looking at past
All right, who
listings.
might remember this? The Electric Company. Yeah, code book.
The Electric Company.
Oh, I
Like
like
the robbers,
Electric
not the
Company.
robot.
Hey, you guys!
I want to go to the cat shop and play with
highlight magazine. Did you steal those from your doctor's
There has
office?
to be another bin because I don't have any of the Star Wars figures, and I know I have like 30 or 40 of them.
I want to go to Gak Shop.
Highlights.
Drink
Remember
beer
the,
and play
like-
with toys.
Remember the searches at the back to like look for items?
All about girls, the highlights. No.
Where's the Playboys that your dad gave you?
Yeah.
So like,
He
They're
gave it
still,
to
in,
us.
they're still in the factory box. They've never been opened.
yeah, crazy man.
That was
I gotta
probably
bring out my box of toys.
That
and
was
show
so-
it.
Where's all your unopened beers? That's another story.
Yeah.
yeah, actually.
All right, this is something I have no
Oh, that's
idea.
Cool.
I had that.
Oh, I
exact
had
same
that.
one.
I had one of those too, yeah.
I had
That's
that
actually
exact
service
one.
station.
The base
Elevator
that goes
action
underneath
for
it.
kids.
It's got the old shell logo.
I know
on
that
it
one
still.
with the elevator.
Yep.
It's missing the slide. There's a slide at the top that would go up and
Yeah.
the cars would run down.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
That's elevator
Yep, I do
action for
too.
children.
I coveted that thing. I never got one.
So next time I'm over in the US, Gak, I'm coming over to your house. We're gonna drink beer and play with toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Man, nothing interesting in there. Yeah, weird. What a trip, man.
That's cool as hell, dude.
Wow.
That's very cool. That's cool as hell, dude. That's very good.
You have any Thunderbirds toys?
The highlights.
Oh.
Like a bunch of highlights magazines.
Yeah.
Wow. You're into the highlights.
Thunderbirds wasn't huge in America.
Like
was
no
it?
other.
It wasn't.
The toy. A lot of people had the toys though.
Yep.
Like the one that had the sub in it. I think it was
Yep.
number 4.
Yeah, had Thunderbird 2, which was the
Thunderbird.
plane and stuff like that.
What was the greenish blue one that had like the sub in it?
That was 4.
That 2
Yeah, 4.
or 4?
2 was the blue plane, 4 was the sub from memory. I know that the pinball machine's in full production now. They started putting them out, so
yeah,
it's out now. So yeah, I don't know if you know. You're a pinball guy, Mock. You know about Huntington?
Yeah.
So it's out now.
I'm not a big enough fan because I wasn't a super big fan of the show. I just like the toys though.
Cheap, but the machine is so cheap. So it's only 6,000 Australian brand new. So
this Shogun, there's still a price tag on it from JCPenney for like $11.
Oh,
wow. I had the Mazinga one that had rockets that shot out of his fingers.
Yep.
My Atari 2600 box. My dad who used to work at JCPenney's, and it's got 3 price tags. It was $150. Then I think it was like 100 and then 75. They're all marked down, so they're still on there. Yeah, that was when it was still the Atari video computer system.
Yeah,
the VCS. Yeah.
Had the kid with the big afro going woo on the back.
I've got
playing combat or some stupid sports game.
Yeah, the guys with the big expressions on their face.
Yeah.
I got a box Super Mario 3 cartridge, and the price on it was $129 Australian. That's when it came out here.
What does that translate to US? Because I remember like the average price of new were $50, $49.99.
Yeah. So yeah, that would have been about the exchange rate back then. It would have been about $50 American.
Okay.
So, yeah. But that was big money back here then.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
So I put a link in the.
There it is. There's the kid. Zoom in on him. There he is. Woo!
Yeah. Good memory. Nice.
Oh, that's rad.
That's funny.
I don't have a boxed Atari.
I love that. It's cool, in my old bedroom at my parents on the upper shelf in the closet. Yep.
Love
and
it.
it still works.
Love
There's
it.
about 40 games. I had a little tiny suitcase that would just barely fit all of my Atari cartridges, and me and my cousin would play because he was elite though. He had a 7800, so I remember one time specifically, he had Xevious.
Oh god!
And I loved shoot. That was my first shooter. I'm like, this is the most amazing thing ever. Same size cartridge. Little did I know that I could not take a 7800 cartridge, put it in my 2600.
Oh.
So I lent him Mario Brothers, and he's like, "This is great." And then I took his Xevious, and I'm like, "Oh,
doesn't work. Funny and fit.
Here's one for Mark and I.
Yeah.
I've got one
That's
of them
too
in the
late.
box as well. Yeah.
Yep.
See, fuck! I wish you guys I knew you guys were into toys because I have a stupid amount of toys on the shelf up here. Like most of my stuff is like Transformers and Robotech stuff.
Battery operated.
So I have a bunch of He-Man stuff in my attic too. A bunch of He-Man toys in my attic. Yeah.
So like Lewis and I were going like ape shit on Robotech, in Slack a few days ago.
Oh right.
I've got a fuckload of Robotech and Transformer stuff that
Yeah.
Do you remember the Robotech toy, Andrew? Maybe you have it. Do you have that one that was like part metal, I think, and it was plastic, but it was the one that turned into like a motorcycle, and then it was from Robotech season 2, I believe.
It was from Mospita, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like a motorcycle robot.
Several of those toys, so yeah.
It was like big. It was a pretty big toy.
That was one of the pictures I posted.
Was it?
Yep. So it's a toy. It's like an action figure, and then he turns he can ride his motorcycle, and then it turns into like a mech. He can walk around it. So
that's kind of like grayish blue color, I think. I really wanted that toy. I could never find it anywhere.
I have 2 of those.
Yeah.
Fuck. Dave never said goodbye. Get back in.
Dave. Rude cunt.
No, that's it.
That's it right there.
That was badass. That was a badass toy right there.
Well, here's the box.
Show me the box.
So,
Yeah.
Show me the box.
Yep. So I have that's a Matchbox. I have one of those originals, and
That's
I
my icebreaker when I meet women.
two
I have the box.
versions of those.
No, they had a
Unfortunately, it didn't get me too far.
high quality version of it. It had part metal and part plastic.
So I have
That wasn't that one, was it?
They were made by Matchbox in America. Then.
I have the Matchbox versions. I have one of those, but I also have two Masterpiece versions.
Yeah, that's the ones I
Okay.
remember.
Maybe
Were,
that
were
might
you
be one
guys
thing
were
we
you
have.
guys too old to get into micro machines?
No.
I
enjoy those.
yeah.
I was big into
Let
micro
me go
machines.
grab
I
one.
bought the Star Wars ones. So
The
yeah.
guy that talked at 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, I had a Micro Machine Millennium Falcon. Had little legs that come down for landing. I think that's
that
it,
shit was
Andrew.
Awesome.
That looks like it. It was like real posable and shit. Yeah, that's
The
cool.
masterpiece.
How many of you guys got those toys? I posted a link in the chat there.
Mm.
My sister's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's got a heap of them.
Yeah, they're
That's
pretty
Biker's Mice from Mars, no?
Yeah, biker mice from Mars.
Yeah, one of my friends has that stuff.
Yeah, my sister's got a bunch of them.
I went to a guy's house the other day to trade some stuff with him, and he has the biggest goddamn Transformers collection I've ever seen in my life.
I'll tell you
Like,
another thing. Biker
ridiculous.
Mice from Mars Super SNES game is actually really fun. It's a racer.
It's when you get the PAL version, it's actually really expensive too.
Netcross is asking, does anybody remember Penny Racers?
Yes, I remember Penny Racers.
Is that what you put the penny in the back of
You put
it?
the penny in the back of it, yeah, and it does wheelies and shit.
Spin.
Or Stomper 4x4s. I still have a Stomper 4x4.
Oh yes, I remember Stompers.
Stompers were awesome. They had like
Ow,
soft kind of rubber tires.
Yep, I do remember those. Those were awesome.
Yep.
Was that they had little batteries in it and they would like travel over like rough terrain?
Yes.
I just picked
Does anyone remember Pogs? No, I'm just kidding.
God.
Those are the best.
Pogs
We
were
did-
delightful.
Are they the same
Paper
as
discs.
Tazos?
Fucking piece of cardboard. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a rare one. This is a rare Pog right here.
Ooh, we're playing the game Poison. Yeah.
We had Tazos.
They're Stompers.
Yeah, Stompers are cool.
Pogs was junior.
How many
high,
batteries?
so-
There's like a couple AA batteries or something.
Fucking Stompers, one AA.
One AA.
One AA, that's all it took?
Yep.
I want a Stomper.
I had a shitload of those things.
Actually, at that,
I love those
that
things.
place in California, the Frankensons, they had a whole Stomper set there, one of the booths.
Really?
Yeah. I
wonder
I
what
was
the
so
name
close
of
to
it.
buying it.
I had this
I
little
want a
truck
Stomper
that
now.
had arrows on top of it that you would push for the direction that it would go.
Yep, I had one of them. Yeah. I had one
Okay,
of them.
that was the first piece of electronic that I ever fixed. I took
Oh,
apart.
dude.
Nice.
I just bought one similar for my son, Jim, the other
Nice,
day.
Andrew.
Wow, I didn't know they still existed. I think I was
At the Kmart here, you pick them up for like $10.
I was probably like 6 or 7. I remember it stopped it stopped going in a direction. I took it apart and I figured out that this button isn't working, and Yeah, I was a little
That got
kid.
you into fixing arcade machines, man. There you go. Like that's
It got me into fixing stuff. My mom will tell you that's when he liked electronics. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just
How
like
about,
just like that
I've
too.
never seen one of
That's
the
the only
Penny
voice I
Racer
have for
Racer,
women,
that's
and
cool.
it covers them all.
Yeah.
You guys,
My mom's voice is Carrie's voice, is every other girl's voice.
Oh,
I have one girl voice, and it's all the same.
do you guys remember a programmable tank called Big
Oh,
Track?
tank. Yep.
Oh,
and had-
I wanted
that was
that
one of my-
so badly.
had the
Yeah,
Was
that's
that,
right.
did that shoot something out of the front?
No, it
No,
just
it was a laser.
Laser
light. Yeah.
I had
But
a
that
tank.
was-
I had a remote control little tank thing. It was wired. It was hardwired, but it actually would shoot something out of the cannon, out of the turret or whatever.
Well, Big Track was my big Christmas present. That's
I
all I
wanted a
got.
Big
was
Track.
that one.
Oh, wow.
I got that.
Okay.
I got that, and I got the thing that would dump out. You know, the dumper
yeah, the trailer.
part.
Yeah.
That
The
is
trailer, yeah.
awesome.
But you could program it, and it would run all over the house and shoot stuff and come back to you. You just had to program. Every time you pushed a number, that represented a foot. So you could say 12 feet, enter, move forward, 12 feet, turn right, 15 degrees, go forward. You know, you'd program it all in, and then hit go, and it goes do 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 do, and it would do its mission,
Probably
and
why
then come back
we
to
didn't get them
you.
here in Australia because we're metrics.
All right.
But the
do you
challenge
guys remember-
was
We
I
had
feel like
them.
it was called.
Oh,
I think it
Andrew.
was called
Just real quick,
Yeah,
I just wanna-
sorry.
just
Can I
wanna-
see Andrew's toy? Yeah,
I just
that
want
is
to put this
fucking
away.
rad.
So this is
Yeah,
this is one of
that's-
the masterpiece versions, but this is
Present Andrew.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So that's a masterpiece ran. So he's toy comes
So
off.
is it more detailed, more joints kind of thing, or
Yeah.
highly
Yeah.
detailed phase.
Yeah. They're the ones I've
That's
seen.
awesome.
And yeah, it's fully transformable, fully posable. So it comes.
I
with
love it.
You know the bike, which does all of its stuff, and then yeah,
the wheels spin and all that. Everything.
The figure is 100% trans. You know, like movable, and you can. Put
I've definitely come to Colorado next.
Oh, Andrew, I'm coming.
He doesn't mean to Denver. He means right now.
and the bike absolutely transforms.
That deserves a Japanese orgasm.
Oh, that's so rad.
So
it's part metal, part plastic too.
Good one, Jim.
Yep, it's part metal, part plastic. So if you do a quick search on Masterpiece, Robotech, Rand,
What does that run? I wonder what they cost now.
I don't know what they're costing.
What was the name of that toy? I feel like it was called like an alpha.
Wait, let me look that up.
It was this little robot that you would put a card into it, and it would read it, and it would do games and stuff like that. It was this little robot.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
Master.
You put a little card in it.
Masters.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I'll just do a quick search for it. Let me give me a second.
I tried Alpha Robot and it didn't come up.
Oh, there we go. There's Big Track. This is an Apple. That was so fun. I love that toy.
I want one of them now to give me beer.
Yeah, it was a very expensive toy too. I remember my mom was like, "I don't know."
But you were the spoiled one.
Yeah, I got that instead of a Millennium Falcon.
All right, so these are Toyamis. So this is a Toyami. It goes for about $1,000 now.
Oh,
wow!
God, really?
Wow!
I maybe spent $100 on it.
Wow!
It's awesome though.
Did any of you guys have AFX sets?
Yes, I remember that. I didn't have any. My friends had massive sets.
Yeah, I had
What's
a
that?
bunch. AFX, the slot cars.
Yeah, slot cars. Sorry, yeah, slot cars.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, come on, AFX.
There's a heap of guys
AFX,
here still in Toowoomba that actually have they've rented out a shop downtown and they have this massive track they built and they just go there Friday, Saturday nights and drink beers and play it. So yeah.
I think the RC racers. I think it was. I remember what you're talking about. They're on the tracks, and yeah, I remember.
Yeah, if you go too fast around a corner, they'll flip off and things like that.
On Suicide Squeeze, or something like that.
You can actually still buy people make new cars. Like you can get the R35.
The old cars are worth a bundle.
Yeah, some of them are. I've got a Toyota.
I found it.
I've got a 1978 Toyota Celica Fastback, which is worth a few pennies.
All right, I totally found it. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
it. Yep, Elfie. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
There we go.
I remember that.
Yes, that's the robot. That's the robot.
It was a fucking shit. I loved it.
Oh yeah,
Alfie.
It was mostly just because there are so many buttons. I mean, really.
Yeah.
As a little kid, you're just like,
and he had a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a 2XL instead.
Oh, that's a baby's toy.
Yeah, 2XL, man. That's where
You
it
have
was
to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
You guys don't remember 2XL?
No, I don't remember that.
Hey guys, gonna be dropping a couple. Just real,
Leo, you got
Sneak Fest.
A couple.
Yeah,
yes.
plug it.
I know. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from.
Holy shit!
I'm pretty much tomorrow now because it's Wednesday here on the East
About
Coast.
16
But
days, something like that.
yeah, 2 week, little under 2 weeks. Friday, June the 1st, will be the new event called Sneak Fest, which is formerly called Bro Fest.
Love the name.
Leo will be running a shuttle all day for anyone flying out.
And we're all staying at his place.
So Super Cert is coming on Wednesday, and then
hey, that's awesome.
Andrew, you're coming Thursday. I think 3:30ish or so.
3:40. Yep.
And Carrie and Jim, I don't know if you guys have notes on your flight.
I'm getting in at like 1:30.
And I think I'm like around 5:30. I thought I said.
All right.
So I will be drinking at the bar for 4 hours.
Right.
Yes.
Carrie will pick you up on Friday when we pick up Dave at the airport. So that'll be nice.
We'll break you up off the airport.
You know, and the sad part is I leave in the morning.
That's right, Andrew.
It takes so long.
We're
to
gonna have
get
a dance party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then
80s mix.
We'll come back to my place Thursday. We'll hang out in Boston a while. Then heading up to the Nassau for Friday. I posted on Claw like some of the events. We'll be doing a Nat tournament on Friday, a Nat tournament on Saturday, a combination of of games on Friday and Saturday, and then a candlepin bowling event, which we're going to have a glass mug with the logo on that too, and there's going to be some little trophies, the awards for the top 3 in the Nat 2 days and the main one. So I'm looking forward to everyone that can make it up there. So I'll probably shoot out my my number or like something with updates to let people know when we're getting there. But we're gonna try and stick to the schedule as long as we can for getting there on Friday. I called the NAS about getting a grill opened up for that Friday or Saturday. They said if the weather's nice, then they would consider it. So that might have just been them pushing me off. But hey, let's see what we can get there. So yeah, maybe grab it.
Walmart and buy a Weber or something.
Wow.
We have a little barbecue. Yeah,
we have to serve wieners of some kind. It's the fucking tradition.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. I'm bringing my crock pot and Dave's buying the skinless hot dogs. So definitely will be hot dogs, but
as long as there's wieners, I'm there.
Yes, absolutely. So look forward to see everyone there too. Hope everyone has a good time on it too. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, ask a question on the Claw thread, or I could find some other way to get a hold of me. Yeah, well,
go fuck yourself.
So hey, and thanks for everyone for the help on this too. I mean, the artwork by Andrew has been amazing, and all the people coming from California, Colorado, Minnesota. I guess Dave from New York, but fuck him, he's not here. So So
Sounds like it's gonna be good, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Looking forward to see everyone in a couple of weeks. Talk to you all next week. Thanks, everyone.
See you later.
Questions?
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Bye, Leo.
Night, Leo.
Oh, and if you want to register for this, you should make sure and let Leo know in a club or maybe like that. Yeah. If you want a badge, you got to register. So Leo's taking the registration, so it's on him.
And the art's awesome, so you want to have a badge.
I want
a badge.
So,
can I get a badge?
Ask Jerry. Text me. You can
Jerry.
have a badge.
Okay.
Fuck face. Yeah.
Give me number
format
-1.
You print it out on your own.
-1.
That's it. Yeah, I'll print it out of the self.
Yeah, I'll just send you the art package.
Yeah.
Print it yourself.
Actually,
I heard you guys talk about Cobra Kai before I got on.
Oh, so good.
I am waiting to see it.
So fucking good.
And
me and Carrie watched Karate Kid 3. She's ready to watch the series now. She's caught up.
I want to watch it again already.
We can't talk about it yet, though.
I watched it twice so I could do my videos.
Yeah. Dude, I loved your videos. That was so good.
Oh, thanks, dude.
That was
you know what's hilarious? I was watching just randomly before Cobra Kai came out. I was watching the original Karate Kid, and I realized, did that where Pretty Okay come from? Because at some point,
I thought the same thing when I watched it the other night too.
Thank you.
I fucking did. I saw it.
All right, so
okay.
At some point,
what Fett used to say,
Miyagi says, "Daniel-san,
you pretty okay."
I fucking saw it the other night. I thought the same thing.
That's fucking pretty okay.
Yeah, I know. It was tricky as.
Yeah.
Jerry,
nice. So
you and me, bud.
And that's a very heartfelt, like warm scene.
It is.
That's where Daniel's like, "You're my best friend," and he's like, "You pretty okay
Daniel-san, you pretty okay too."
Yeah.
And I was like,
"Oh, it's so good, that movie, man." I watched it last week, and I hadn't watched it in a couple of years, and oh, dude, it was incredible.
It's funny. Me and Carrie have finished the Rocky series and the Karate Kid series, both directed by John Avildsen, both underdog stories. Yeah, so.
I did not even fucking think of that. That's awesome. I didn't think of that. Yeah, they were.
And there's some parallels.
And Bill Conti did the score to both.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah, that was cool. But well, you got to do the Nightmare on Elm Street ones, and then just stop at number 3 and just save it at that one. That's the best one of all.
No, we got through
watched them all.
Dream Warriors.
No, they were all fun.
The Dream Warriors is the best.
One and 3 are my favorites, and then I like 6 just because it's such it's a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I saw 6 at the cinema. That was like I went and saw that one when it was in 3D to watch it properly. That was pretty cool.
Yep, we watched it with our 3D glasses. Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Dream Warriors was supposed to end the series. That's why they made it so awesome.
It was
so Wes Craven,
it made so much money. It made stupid money. So they're like, oh, we can't kill this franchise.
And then they made 4 made even more, and then 3 and 4 made the most.
But the resurrection in 4 was stupid. The dog pees in his grave in a dream.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
What?
4 was really dumb.
Lazy, rushed writing.
Jim, I've still got these.
Oh, dude, I got 2 pairs of those. Yep.
Yeah,
they came with my DVD box set.
I saw that in theaters too.
I got these at the movie, and I've actually got a pair which have it in Spanish as well.
Horrible 3D too.
Yeah.
All right, you fucker, you win. They came,
Fuck you!
Jim, you might
I
be
still have my glasses, but I saw it in theaters.
To answer this question, did Freddy's Nightmares ever come out on DVD?
No.
Fuck.
That's too bad.
I've got a really bad rip-off line, and I want to watch. I want to get a really good quality.
Yeah, no.
I get a bootleg of it.
Not yet. And I think they only did. Did they do 2 or 3 seasons? They did, I think 2.
2 seasons. 2 seasons. Yeah, I watch it probably once a year.
Well, okay, have you? You got to have seen the documentary "Never Sleep Again."
Yeah. I watched that.
I've seen that documentary probably 4 times. It's so good. Well, Carrie, you've watched it with me, right?
It's what I watch when I'm.
It's really good.
It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
It's so well done.
It's my hangover thing to watch. So.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
so detailed. And they interview everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. The chick from 4 that has the baby, she turned a bit fucked up the way you look at her now with her girlfriend in the background in the interviews and stuff.
Oh, that's right,
yeah, where she's got like well, she's in a band. Like it took me a while. I'm like, what the fuck's up with
I thought they were like
and her girlfriend is like staring at the camera the whole time.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And you realize, it's a band. Still.
It's such a good documentary though. It is, and it's great.
It's so good. It's so informative. And it's so well done. And I love the claymation, the stop motion stuff in between. So good.
It was good. It took me a couple of years to find it actually, and then I realized I'd bought the box set and it was on one of the discs, and I downloaded it.
Oh no shit!
Funny.
I watched it like 2 or 3 times. Actually, you know what's funny is that when I was practicing for the Eyes World Record, I would have that on at my old place. I'd have that on in the background as just ambient sound. I'd already seen it like twice, but I just have it on there as I was playing. And then I was like, this is stupid. I should just buy the Blu-ray. It's like, and
you can't get the Blu-ray set. It's not in Australia yet for sale.
Well, on the Blu-ray, there's like another 2 hours of interviews.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'll just order it from Amazon.
It's so worth it because there's like another 2 hours of interview stuff on there. It's awesome.
Sweet. I've got a heap of stuff waiting at one of those USA box drop things to send to Australia. I'll throw it in a package. So that's the way to do it.
Oh yeah. No, it's good.
No, right on. Definitely. No, it was really fucking good. I was just hoping I could get a US Freddy's Nightmares on DVD or Blu-ray or something.
I have a Robert Englund little story. That when I used to go to the San Diego Comic-Con when when I could still go before it got so ridiculously crowded that it is now. They used to do a thing it was always on a Saturday. They would do this. It's called the Masquerade Contest, and what it was is they would get costume designers from Hollywood to fill the panel to judge people on stage that would come out and show off their costumes. And these costumes were super detailed. Like people come out. Like I saw one time a Volkswagen Bug drove out onto the stage. And then it transformed into a guy as a transformer. Oh, it was like crazy shit. It's so amazing. Well, one year I went, and this is the year that Freddy vs. Jason was coming out. It was like 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks before that was going to come out, right? And usually the same host always does the ceremonies. And then that same guy came out. His name's Phil something, I forget. Anyway, he came out. And he's like, hey, everybody, I know I usually do the hosting, but we have a guest host this year. And then Robert Englund comes out.
Oh,
and,
damn.
He did the hosting the entire show. He was really funny. And then every once in a while, he would go into Freddy mode. So like when the audience was like laughing and talking too much, He'd go, "Shut up, my piggies, before I slit your throats and kill you." You know, that kind of thing.
Wow.
You know, he was so awesome.
That would make me come.
Oh, he was so good. He's got such a great sense of humor and everything.
Oh,
He's
he's great.
had such a good time. Yeah.
Mm.
So that was just awesome because nobody expected it. You know, we were just all sitting there waiting for the normal costume contest to happen, and he came out as the host, and that was just so cool.
That was the second movie ever that I went to by myself, because it was opening night, and I can't remember, it was like last minute or something like that, and I'm like, well, I'll go alone because there's always a single seat available, and it was like the best. I wanted to see it with a full crowd of fans, and the audience was so split. I remember I was sitting next to two people, and I asked them both.
What do you mean split?
Like
Freddy or Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, who they liked. Oh, okay.
The dude on my right was all about Jason. The dude on my left was all about Freddy. So it was funny because I asked him, I'm like, who are you guys, you know, before the movie started.
Yeah.
And it was
for.
Yeah. It was so fun. It was
Isn't
so
there
much
supposed
fun.
to be an alternate ending to it?
There's
that
two
one with the one with Pinhead's meant to be in it as well. So.
Well, there's two endings on the disc.
The
original, the alternate,
the storyboard,
and then there's a third scripted ending. So, and if you've seen that, they mention it in the documentary. But the original ending, of course, spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, they make it real ambiguous in the theatrical version.
Yeah.
So Jason and Freddy just basically like kill each other, so to speak. And they fall into a lake, and it cuts to a scene, and it's a lake, and there's like a bunch of fog and stuff, and all of a sudden Jason emerges, and so you think he won, and he's got Freddy's head in his hand, and he's walking, and then Freddy winks at the camera, so he's obviously still ticking. So you don't know. You can interpret it however you want.
Or he planned it that way because he could be in like putting him in a dream state.
Right.
Killed him.
You don't know.
Yeah,
It's
you don't know. That's kind of cool they did that though.
It's proper. It's it's smart. But in the alternate ending is that it cuts to the main character. The virgin girl, she finally gives herself up to her boyfriend. They're having sex, and then all of a sudden his hand turns into Freddy's claws, and so
I've seen that. Okay,
so then you obviously think, well, okay, Freddy run,
and
then and then the scripted, the version that they weren't able to shoot due to rights and licensing was that Freddy and Jason end up in hell. And they're still going at it. They're still fighting each other. And then all of a sudden, you hear a voice, and it's like, boys, what seems to be the problem? And these chains come out, and here's Pinhead.
Oh, man. I'd lose my shit.
That would have been amazing. Epic.
Yeah. Yes. I would have lost my shit seeing that.
But they couldn't get rights. I think let's see. Friday the 13th was Paramount. Nightmare on Elm Street, New Line. What was...
what was those New Line as well?
No, it was New Line. New Line had... Hellraiser, but it was wasn't it the guy who did the
It might have been Universal or something.
But did they still own it at that point, though? You know?
Yeah,
I think they had passed off.
But because there's comic books based on it, that's why they were going off that. Just like there was a theory still, there's the whole theory that they're going to still make the Ash vs. Freddy.
Yeah, right.
And they made it to a comic instead.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. But
I don't honestly though. I don't want to see. I wouldn't want to see that in the same world because to me, that's not a straight slasher. So like, you're bringing a comedic element. I want to see the
it's too funny.
Yeah, I want to see Pinhead and Freddy and Jason, like those guys, or Leprechaun, or you name any of the 80s slashers. Keep those guys in the same. But I don't chopping. I don't consider Ash and the Evil Dead series necessarily in that same world.
Did you see that they've now the director of Hellraiser saying that Jason is in the same timeline? The director of Jason is in the same timeline as Evil Dead. That he's meant to be like a necrolite or something like that. That's why he keeps coming back. and it's in some. That was about 2 years ago. It came up on IMDb. The guy did an interview, so I think he was just trying to get money for a crossover.
Right.
He's just trying to say, Ash is in the same timeline, and there's meant to be some Easter eggs, but I've watched them enough that I've never seen anything really. So.
Interesting. Yeah. I do like that in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nancy's watching Evil Dead. Like I do like those little nods, those little Easter eggs. But
Evil Dead 2, where they have the Freddy glove in the shed. And in the shed, and then that was the one that was stolen from set that they never knew where it went, like type of thing. So that was pretty cool. So,
and then
great
Jason
movies.
goes to hell. Freddy's glove comes out.
That's it. They're just great. I love them. I love them. Yeah. I still have yet to watch the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street because I think it's just going to suck.
It's dumb. No,
I don't want to. Yeah, same with Evil Dead. I haven't watched the reboot of that. So I don't.
That's like that's why I boycotted the Karate Kid remake.
Yep, I'm with you there. I've never seen that.
I had people on my video being like, "Hey, what about when I mean, this really isn't a spoiler. At one point, one of the guys says, "I feel like I'm Jackie Chan," and people are like, "Oh, you missed the Easter egg where they were nodding off to the reboot." I'm like, "Well, I've never seen the movie, and I boycotted it, and I don't consider it canon. So fuck you." I didn't say that. I didn't say that in my channel. Fuck you, but
No, just say it. I'll go in there and answer that fucking thing.
But you thought it, and you said it here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
Definitely no. Fuck that movie. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
end this.
We got such an awesome roll. Let's bring this shit to a close. This has been a great show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Pretty much zero arcade.
We did, which we're making.
Anybody get any pickups? Actually, Brad,
we don't want to talk arcade stuff here now. This will be our arcade-free show.
Carrie, a big reveal next week.
This was a brilliant thing. Oh God, Carrie,
Carrie has a great reveal though.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it next week.
Tonight? I mean,
let's do it next week.
Let's do it first.
Then I can have some time to
it's a good reveal
we start talking. I'd rather wait until next week personally.
All right.
Let's do it first then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been drinking tonight to be too much tonight to be able to handle it.
Something about you getting Jim to come over and check out the ring for him.
Oh, come on. Quiet.
Ringu. Oh, Ringu.
No, they have some announcement to make next week, maybe. I don't know.
Somebody ate some spicy food and they had a ring of fire.
Yeah.
Oh, the Johnny Cash version.
Yeah.
Nice way to try to start some rumors.
Yeah, Gag.
I'm not sure.
Although I did make that joke and Gag's like, when we were tasting wine.
Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. That was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Lisa's a trooper, I gotta say.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
Steve, it's only a 8-hour drive away. You can come up and taste some wine with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tempt me.
We'll go to Lodi. It's classic.
Come on, Mark, don't be a bitch.
Dude, you could. You could bring your wife, and our wives will just be yip yapping away.
How much for your wife?
Yeah, we could even go. To Livermore. We could live
I drove up there and had a R2d2 with us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we've done it.
Yeah. So we're.
You could drive this.
We.
I stopped for Pokemon.
Jack, you better just hold dancing.
The license plate.
The deflector shield will be
my princess,
operational.
Arrive. All right, so we do this every week. Thank you for watching.
Oh, Gak. Yeah.
We're the longest running podcast.
YouTube live podcast.
No, Gabriella this week in the chat.
We talk about toys, beer, and arcade games.
Yes.
Yeah. Most weeks.
Actually, that was a really good
the longest running live arcade podcast on YouTube. However, I checked on KLV just out of curiosity, Our thread is 1/7 as many views as the second longest running arcade podcast. Not on.
We're getting up there. Bump it, people.
That's right. Bump it. Yeah,
I wonder how many subscribers we have. It'd be nice to have that turned on.
If you want to see us hit,
Done. 8.
Done?
8.
We have 8 subscribers.
Yeah, we have 8.
Yeah. Soon we'll have 10.
We have to have at least
10.
All right, so next week we're going for 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Click that little subscribe button in the corner.
Nice. You want to hit the bell so that you get all of our latest videos.
Do we really only have 8 subscribers?
Well, I think if you're talking
doing
about
this
On YouTube?
yeah.
No need to pay for
404.
bonus. No need to pay for bonus content. This shit's
Bonus.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need YouTube Red to watch us.
Yeah, this
Yeah, that's right.
No, by all means, use AdBlock Plus.
Yeah. Or go ahead and hit the stop button right now. Like, why the fuck are you listening to this?
Yeah.
What's wrong? And there's a reason why we're on IRC chat, not YouTube.
What is this?
Shitty chat. YouTube shitty chat that doesn't let you
yes.
put any cool links in it.
No.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Hey Jerry, what time is it in Australia?
Yeah.
3:31 p.m.
Time to go offline.
That's right.
Time for a beer.
Man, I'm only 7 beers in. I'm fine. So.
Oh yeah, you're ready to go off to work now.
No, he's got an interview.
And I'm kid free on everything free today. So.
Oh, nice.
There's our goodbye music. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Next time I fucking fall.